Misfits podcast. This is your host, Audio AB. We got
Gio. Omar.
and our special guest today, Mike G. Versacekenpachi on Instagram.
Hey, ho.
Go ahead.
That's me. It's Mike G.
Our man Mike G. So
Not the rapper.
Mike G
Not
is
the rapper.
one of our longtime friends. I mean, I would say each of us in this room has known him like about,
I've known him since fifth grade.
I was 10 years old.
So what
So
is that?
like
Like
10
middle-
years.
I think
like middle
14?
school.
Yeah.
14?
Yeah.
14? You're 23. It's like, we're 24. It's like 13.
Yeah.
14.
No, 10 years. 10 years. Like, I met him when I was 13. Well, I'm now 23.
Wait. I thought we met when we were 10.
How old are you now? In fifth grade? How old are you in fifth grade?
No, you're not 13 in
Nah.
fifth
I
grade.
met you guys in fifth grade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
You
the
know
fir-
what? You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
You're not 13.
You know what's
in
funny
fifth
is I
grade.
actually met Michael at Omar's birthday party. And the first time I ever met Michael is actually really funny. I don't know if Michael remembers this, but maybe he will if I talk about it.
I didn't know
So Omar's like dating this one chick with a unibrow. And
This is my first girlfriend. She was a lovely lady.
no. Actually, shout out. Omar was getting pussy for everybody. Shout out.
Nice.
Um,
yeah.
Nah,
True.
I was
Very
chi-
true.
Hey, I'll tell you, I got cheated on, so.
Oh, whoa. All right, we can
Hey.
dive into
By
that.
just a
in
young,
sec.
You
just
win
a
some,
young
you
lad.
lose
All right,
You
so
win some, you lose some. What
It's
can you do?
Omar's birthday party. I think he's turning like 11. And
Big day.
you know, when you're like 11, you invite your whole fucking like 6th grade, 5th grade class, and everybody's like walking around, everybody's playing tag, freeze tag, or some shit. So I'm in Omar's room, hanging out with his cousins, and we're chatting, we're playing video games, and this kid comes in wearing like a skater hoodie and then like a skate brand shirt, and then we're talking to him, and he starts showing us pictures of poop on his phone. And
Were they your poops?
I don't remember if it was his poop or you know what the funny thing is? I don't think it was his poop. I think it was someone else's poop.
Were
I
they-
feel like it was like.
Were they personal favorites, or
I
were
feel
they
like-
more like iconic
Bro,
poops?
you know,
Do you remember that, Michael?
honestly, I kind of remember. It's foggy, but like,
That's literally the first time I ever met you.
They had to have been
And-
yours, bro.
I think they
They're
were
flip
mine.
phones.
How many pictures of poop did I say?
Dude, it must have been a few, like more than a handful. Like it was a good amount of pictures of poop,
Holy
and
shit.
I don't
Building
think
up
it was
that
yours. I feel like it
portfolio.
was like your brothers, like some of your friends too. Like
Oh my god! Building up that portfolio.
You know
for
what?
real.
I actually do remember that.
You
And I've
do?
got a good story about that.
All right.
So, yeah.
Back to the poo stories.
It was like, yeah, this is a
get
great way
right
to
to
start
it.
it, I guess. Poo stories are always good. So, my family has a farm in Austin. All right, that's where this poo story begins. It's a little farm in Austin.
Lots of
Nice
poo
little
on
town.
there.
Yeah, lots of poo out there. So one day, me and my brothers were like, just like foraging, not even just foraging, just fucking around the forest. We had nothing to do. It was just a fucking farm. But can I curse? Is that okay, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Say whatever you want.
Yeah, whenever you're okay with the
Yeah,
public
can I
hearing,
curse?
you can say.
Okay, sweet.
You can denounce white supremacy, or you can fucking
Or
support it.
or whatever you want to do, or do whatever the hell you want to do on here.
All right. So, yeah, we were out there just in the forest looking for poop,
Searching.
searching. Now, we were going to my uncle's farm, my uncle's section of the farm, and we were like crawling through like barbed wire and shit. And so we were like in this part of the forest where like it was like low. We're like crawling on the ground, and like I think it was my brother who noticed it first, but he like looks to the right, and he notices that there's some human shit on the ground, right? We know it was human shit because there was corn in this shit. Now, do you recall a picture of shit with corn in it? I'm just trying to.
I think I do recall corn.
I'm
in
just
there.
trying to make sure because that was probably the source of our taking pictures of poo.
Wow.
And so it was like we were wondering why in this section of the forest was there human poop with corn in it. It was really fucking weird. So we were like stumped. We wanted to find out this mystery on the farm of where this poop was coming from.
That's a kid's book, yeah.
Yeah,
I've read that.
Exactly.
I read that one. That's a good one. Judy B. Jones?
So later on, we went and I guess my grandparents were like renting out a small little shack on our farm to some old weird guy. And so at one point, they're like plumbing from his house like broke off. And I don't know if you recall a picture of poop that was coming out of a pipe. If like
I don't think I recall that one. It's been so long. To be
it was
honest
just
with
like
you.
poop in the toilet. Yeah. But it was like, yeah. So we found this pipe and there was poop coming out of it. And this poop also had corn in it. So
Okay.
suspicions were growing. And we were
Common
starting to,
Suspicions were, to say the least.
to say the
Suspicions
very
were growing.
least.
So-
We were thinking that this man was like roaming around the forest, just eating corn and taking shits because he had so much corn in his shit.
Now, was it an open area or was it behind a tree or like?
So the first one was behind a tree, like
Okay.
in a group of trees though. It wasn't really like hidden though. You could see into this grouping of trees.
Yeah.
But with the naked eye, like it was not hard.
Maybe it would blend in, squatting down.
Nah, you'd be spotted even squatting.
Yeah. If they've got eyes, you're seen.
This man had no shame when he took this shit.
He's okay with it.
So it must have been like night or something.
So how long did it take you guys from seeing the poop to actually finding out that it was not from someone roaming the woods?
We never found out.
You never found out?
After that, we just started taking shits and taking pictures of shits.
So wait, so that was the first. That was what set off the.
That was literally it. That was literally it. It was kind of just like, all right, let's find out if like we eat corn and we take a picture of the shit, will there be corn in the shit? And so that was pretty much like the origin of it.
All right,
corn
so
does run straight through you, man.
But
What's up with boys and? Well, go ahead, Abby.
no, you're going. Go ahead.
What's up with boys and taking pictures of their shit? I do that all the time.
Honestly, it's kind
there
of
are times where I
fascinating.
find myself to this day being like, man, that's an unusually
Especially
like
when it's a
this
really
is the
big one.
biggest one of the year for sure. Should I send it to the boys? Would they appreciate this? Are they at work? What are they gonna think?
Holy shit.
Open NSFW pics of shit, bro.
Yeah, I never end up taking them, but I think about it, and that's
I'll
for
take
sure.
like a mental picture of it. I'll be like, damn, that's just
that
fire
one's
right
for
there.
me. That one's for me for later.
Human shit just smells like really bad. I mean, dog shit smells too, but I think human shit.
No, human shit is terrible.
Because we eat
shitty
everything.
Smell, bro.
Could
Yeah.
we eat it.
Smelling
We eat
human
so much
shit could like
different
fuck up your day. Like,
Yeah.
you can walk to the bathroom and be like, oh fuck. And
It
you're
can, bro.
And because that's
shit
literally
burns,
someone's shit invading your nose.
Yeah.
toxic.
Like you just got raped.
I didn't ask
in
for
the nose.
this.
Which is why I don't like using public bathrooms.
All those water droplets and those
Big factor.
walls
We
are
discussed this
coated
before, bro.
with
Big
shit.
factor.
I don't shit outside of the house. So Michael,
I shit outside the house.
we talked about you touched briefly on the farm, right?
Yeah.
So I think before you had told me that your grandfather is Native American.
Yeah.
Right.
100%.
So can you kind of give us like a breakup of like your culture? Because the listeners already know what me, Omar, and Gio are.
Yeah.
Just so they can get a picture of your beautiful face.
Boy.
Let's describe to them.
You're
Guys all
not.
over the place.
They would not even know what to fucking think if they knew what race I was. So my grandfather is 100% Native American. His father was a Comanche, and his mother was a Cherokee. So he's like two different Native Americans, but still 100%.
Yeah.
And then sorry.
You're good.
Yeah, my mom, she's like an Irish mutt, so she's like mostly Irish, a little bit of like English in there, but just white trash, white trash.
every day, white trash.
Every day, just
Good old-fashioned.
Kennedy's is their last name, so it's like, yeah, they're fucking Irish as shit. And then, funny enough, my dad, he's black, of course, but full black, nothing else in there. They try to say we got some shit in there, but we don't got it.
That was cap.
It's cap. There's nothing in there. But yeah, so they're black, but our ancestry goes back to Irish slave owners. So our last name is Griffin, which is an Irish last name, and it traces back to Irish slave owners. So it's like, we got the white trash Irish and the fucking rich Irish influencing my life, so I feel like I'm just a product of Ireland somehow.
Your mother was Irish. There's something going back. You got to
Yeah.
trace those back. Something's going on.
Oh, God.
Those ancestors were.
Michael's like, I don't want to look further back
I don't
anymore.
want to look any
Right.
further back. Let's not spoil
I don't
it.
think I want to know what's going on. Man. I'm not going to lie to you. But yeah, so I'm pretty much just a mutt, like as much of a mutt as you can be. Almost.
That's interesting.
That's
So,
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like I
Michael,
didn't know, but-
so I mean, obviously you guys don't know, but Michael is a fantastic artist.
Yeah.
Thank you.
When and like why did you start making art? Like what age did you really like? Because I know a lot of kids when they're younger. I mean, all of us included, we like to draw.
Yeah.
But there's a difference between someone who likes to draw and someone who's actually really passionate about art at a certain point.
Yeah.
So when do you feel like you really started like getting into art?
So it's like it was long for real, for sure. I'm sure you remember, like back in the day, we used to like draw a lot. Omar.
yeah, it was mostly doodling
Yeah,
and things like that.
doodling and shit, yeah,
now it gets
so-
like professional and you know, real.
But like that's where it started. Honestly, it was just like in class with my friends drawing goofy shit. Like like every kid has phases. They want to draw like anime, or they want to draw like I'm listening to like metal, so I want to draw like some Disturbed art album art type thing or something like that. And then you read some fucking edgy comic book, Johnny the Homo Maniac, and then you want to draw like car crashes and stupid shit. You're on best score or whatever.
Yeah.
You want to draw
You're
some
on best
inspiration.
score.
yeah, exactly. You want to draw some crazy shit. So it was like that was just where the fascination with art came from, for sure. And then my dad used to like draw. He was always talented with it, but he never did anything. And it was just like something that I noticed, and it was like, well, if he was good, then I could do it too, obviously. So I always had like the drive to want to get better at it.
Did you find yourself like just already kind of good at it naturally, or did you have to teach yourself? Because I don't remember exactly what our art looked like when we were, it was like stick figures.
Nah, yeah, I was definitely not one of those people that was like super talented at art when I first started. Like, not at all. I didn't actually get really good into it, like good at it until high school, like junior year of high school, when I really started like sitting down and drawing and just fucking smoking weed and drawing, bro. Like that, like that became like really fun to me, especially in class. Because I didn't really care to listen in class too much. I would always like do my shit at home for the most part. If I wasn't talking to somebody, then I was probably doodling. And then like in art class, it was like something that I could sit down and actually enjoy, just like zooted out of my mind. It's like, this is fucking fun. And it was like that, and like I used to like rap and shit. It was like always wanting to be creative all the time. Like,
so speaking of like rap, I was actually gonna ask you about that because there was a period where you were like getting into rap pretty heavily.
Yeah,
you were like. You're doing graphic design. You still do graphic design. You're painting.
Yeah.
Like, you practice all these different mediums of like art and expressing yourself. Which do you think is your favorite / like the best for expressing what's going on in your head?
I definitely think illustration for me. Like that's the one that I've been able to create. I was actually thinking about this like earlier today, but it was like that's the one that can let me give off the specific message that I think would make me happy with knowing that I'm putting that out in the world is illustration for sure. That's definitely the one.
Super, super personal.
Yeah.
But you're choosing everything. You're choosing all the details of it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not even that. It's just like more for the enjoyment of it too. Like I enjoy it so much. So I feel like that's the one that I should stick to. Because if you want to master something, then you should put all of your time and effort into it, So it's like, that's the one that I've seen as like the only option at this point. It's like, I got to devote myself to it. And it's been paying off, being fucking fun.
Hell yeah, man. Mastering your craft.
Hell yeah.
That's the way to go.
It's a blast.
Yeah, so the people here understand we went from, I think it was intermediate school, which in this part of Texas is 5th or 6th grade.
Yeah.
All the way up till senior year of high school with Michael.
Yeah.
So we were in school like pretty frequently together. We've been hanging out for years. We've been doing hooligan stuff for years.
It's true.
Of course.
It's true.
And like Michael, kind of tell us where like our paths eventually diverged. Because as far as like after high school, I remember you left the city, right? You went to a certain university in the South.
A certain white supremacist university in the South.
Didn't that cult thing happen down there with that guy?
Yeah, in Waco.
Yeah.
Dude, it was like that's where the
I forgot their name, but they had that big old house
Branch
out
Davidians.
there.
Branch
Yeah.
Davidians.
They had another name too, though, wasn't it?
Or might have.
No,
I'm not 100% sure.
But the ATF like attacked the place and like,
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
the house. The
Oh,
house
it
got
was
set
where
on
they raided
fire.
the spot, and the guy didn't go out. Yeah.
But but you're talking about that cult. I thought you were talking about the cult of the actual fucking university.
I'm sure there is.
Wait,
Like
so-
a weird religious cult or what?
So tell us about this place, bro. Like I remember you were like whenever you'd come back, you'd have the most crazy stories about this place.
Bro, that shit, it was crazy, and I would not take back the time that I spent there at all because I got to see like an important side of society that we did not get to see growing up in fucking A-Leaf.
Yeah.
We did not get to see that.
What side could you explain?
And the side I'm talking about is like true white privilege, and that shit is like not to sound like white privilege, but nah, it was like
That shit's real.
It's like that
I know
shit.
what you mean.
It was real, and it was fucking hilarious. Like I enjoyed experiencing like the ignorance that these people had to like poorer people. It was fucking awesome.
Could you tell us like a story if any of them stand out to you? Like of a time someone said like some shit where you just thought and you're like, whoa.
Oh boy, I've got a ton.
Give us some of your best stories from Baylor.
Holy shit. Okay. Let me think. I gotta think of like a really good one.
Oh shit, we
Some,
weren't
like,
supposed to say the name of this
disconnected rich kid.
university.
Oh fuck.
But
That's
either
fine.
way, I mean,
Yeah.
It's whatever.
They'll never know.
They're terrible people.
You're not gonna fucking graduate from it.
They're horrible people.
You hear that? B word. No, I'm not gonna say it. I won't say it
the
again.
students are cool. The students are cool. They're just like rich white kids. They don't got no choice in the matter. They're born like that. They live their life like that, and
They don't know any better.
It's not a bad
they
way
don't
to be
know.
born.
They
I'll
don't
tell you
know any
that.
better. And so there's a lot of cool people out there. So I'll tell you about one of the people who was a piece of shit.
Okay.
And then this guy was just like the epitome of white privilege, shitty people at Baylor. And does not say that all the people there are like that, or even that the majority of the people there are like that, because it's not true. But this guy is exactly what you think of when you think of a rich, fucking white douchebag, terrible person. But this guy let's just call him fucking Pete. I'm gonna call him Pete.
Yeah, we'll call him Pete.
He sounds like a douchebag. But Pete came from a billionaire family. Like, he was like, he was a real heir to a billionaire family. Like, this dude was rich as shit. He was complaining about his, like, what was it? It was 2015 at the time. So it was like he had like a 2016 Mercedes AMG. He didn't like the color of like the interior or some shit. And he was like arguing with his dad about how shitty his car was. But that's not even the story.
You heard that happening? He did it on the phone or
No,
something?
yeah, he would do it all the time. In front
Like,
of
no
it.
shame?
No shame. He was like, Dad, you
call my
fucking
dad if I
piece
got
of shit.
something
And he was like, he was like, my dad was trying to get me a car, and he said that I could get a fucking Corvette. And I said, Dad, that is a poor man's fast car. And he sounded like fucking, what's that little white guy's name? That hilarious little guy. Hypothetically, hypothetically speaking,
Fuck, I don't.
you know what I'm talking about.
I know
Ben
you're talking
Shapiro.
about.
It was like
Ben
a little Ben
Shapiro?
Shapiro.
Yeah.
Sounds
Fuck
just-
that guy.
And actually, picture him as a little short, chubby Ben Shapiro with like little spiky 2004 hair.
That's adorable.
Seriously,
Nice.
it was
completely
great.
disconnected
So-
with the world.
So that's the
Spiky
thing. Like,
frosted tips.
yeah, that's the thing. I ended up befriending him like to a certain degree because I had like a friend group out there, and he was like the rich kid, and we just knew him, and so we just kind of put up with him. And so like Pete was just always there because it was like, Pete, you want to throw a party? Because his parents bought him like $1 million like house, like they owned the property, and he was renting it out and shit to throw parties. So
Yo.
like, yeah, there'd be times where we would just throw parties, and me being from A-Leaf had pretty good weed connections. So
They don't know what that is.
I would go to the parties and with a backpack full of weed, just selling weed to all these rich white kids.
Oh my
This kid's
God.
all right.
And
Keep in mind, this story may or may not be true.
oh, it's not true. This is not true at all. It's not true at all.
Not at all.
Just grass clippings.
Let's just say, I got a lot of white people high off fake weed. It was awesome. But yeah, so we would go to the party with this fake weed, and we'd sell it to these white people, and just guess how much money I would sell for like a gram of fake weed for.
Like
40.
a medium, it was like ridiculous. amount,
$85.
like,
$40.
I'm gonna say 30. 30.
Oh, I wasn't.
I'll keep it reasonable.
I'm a nice guy.
20?
25?
I'm a very nice. $20.
$20.
I'm a nice guy.
G.
I'm a nice guy.
I
That's
feel
too nice,
disrespected if
bro.
anyone
I'm a nice
even
guy. I'd be
suggests
like, y'all went
$10
two for 25, dude. I got you. I'd be like y'all don't even realize that I'm making an insane price. It was, I was getting my fake weed from a generous source, but it was fun. But yeah, that being said, I don't even remember where I was going with this.
So
story.
we're talking about Pete.
This guy
You were
was-
talking about why
Yes.
Pete
That
is
piece
a
of
piece
shit
of
Pete.
shit. You were going into that. You used to throw
Pete
parties.
was a piece of shit. But of course, he threw parties, and I was like literally to him like the token black guy at the parties. It was crazy because like, he would throw parties, no other black people would be there. So it was like I felt so sad. Not for the fact that it was like there were no black people wanted to go to the parties, but it was that there weren't even really enough black people there to go to many parties.
Like
the
at the
campus?
university
Yeah,
itself.
because the sports are like a cult, and those
Yeah.
people are training all the time. It's
and
really
they have
hard.
their own like living facilities.
Exactly,
all that
and it's hard for them to get out. Honestly, just party.
Yeah.
Damn.
But
So for the most part,
basically-
it was just white kids. No Asian kids, mostly
Yeah.
Indians, black people, nothing.
Yeah. No, I mean, like I was the black kid on my floor of like the dorms.
Oh my
But that's
God.
beside the point. Let me continue about Pete being an asshole. So like, random times we'd be having discussions. He'd say shit about being poor or whatever. And it was just normal shit. But he wouldn't say it like
he's poor.
like to me, like, oh, he's this Michael's poor or some shit like that. He wouldn't do that, but he'd be like, where'd you get those shoes, man, or something like, it's just little shit, and it's just like, I would be like, shut the fuck up, bro. Pete. I was about to say his real name.
Was he completely oblivious
Pete.
to us, or did he knew what he was doing? He was being a dick.
Oh yeah, he was being a dick. He was being a dick, but he was like a short Ben Shapiro man, so he knew he was inferior to me. You know?
Yeah.
So every
Short
time
Ben
I just
Shapiro,
be like,
man.
shut the fuck up, bro. Kick your fucking ass. Something like that, and
Belly
then he'd
bump.
like
Get
kind
outta
of
here.
just okay.
All right, or just waddles off.
But then one time,
Waddles off like a
what I
little,
imagine.
like a little fat penguin.
but one time we're at a little like he bought him like a hotel room, motel or hotel room or something, and we were there like pre-gaming before a party that he was about to throw, and he said he had like left something in another room, and he said, Michael, go get this.
Yo.
And then I heard him say, and I was like, fuck you. It was like, you go get it. And he was like, dude, just go get it. It's right in the other room. And I was like, you know what? fuck you, I'll go get it. And then he was like, all right. And he said, nigger. And
Yeah,
I was like, what?
I saw that one coming a while away.
I turned around. I was like, hold on, what the fuck did you say? And he said, what? I said, he said,
What I say it all the time.
I think he said, I said friend, and I was like, no, what'd you say? He's like, I said nigga, and I was like,
What's the intention here?
For sure, you heard him say it, and he said
no,
hard R.
he said nigger, hard R.
What a piece of
Wow.
shit.
Hard R.
As you were walking away, or what?
As I was like leaving the room, because he
Yeah.
thought I wouldn't hear it.
Yeah.
And so like my other friends are in the room, and they're like, oh shit. Because they know, like, you know, we come from A-Leaf, bro. Like, I'll fight you. Like, I'll fight you if I have to.
Go on.
So anyway, I get up in his face kind of. I'm like, hey, look, man. I'm like, but like, don't fucking say that shit. Or I force him to say it. Like, what'd you say? And he's like, nigga. And he's like looking down, like he doesn't want to say it now. Yeah. And I'm like, don't ever say that shit again. And he pretty much just like, you know, staring at his feet. He just like, all right, man. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'll go get it. And he goes and gets it himself. And that's just like, that's just an event, small event, whatever.
Yeah.
We go out, throw some more parties. We're still chilling, you know. He continues being a douchebag. Then some shit happens where one of the tenants that he's like leasing his house to, like lives underneath him. This person like, it's like a sorority of like white girls, bro. So he's like leasing part of his house to a sorority of white girls.
Yeah.
Wow.
And yeah, these girls
Sounds
are
like a
fucking
good plan.
Yeah, but these girls are crazy as shit. They're insane, and they're not nice people, and they don't drink either. They're
demons.
They are like the worst possible like sorority that you could live next to.
They're serious about that sorority life.
Yeah, they're really shitty people. So one night, these girls decided that they were going to actually join the party with us, right? So these bitches got drunk as shit.
Oh, this is bad.
And actually, this is kind of the one redeeming event of Pete's life that kind of made him. He was still an asshole, but it was like he did kind of the right thing. But anyway, these bitches are drunk as shit. They have never been this drunk before in their lives. They are sloppy, disgusting women. I'm actually that night chilling in the party, just making sure that like no one crazy comes in, because we were pretty much like winding down. It was like 3 a.m. or something.
Yeah.
And we're trying to get everybody out. And so I'm sitting at like the back gate being like a bodyguard, because token black guy at the party, and I'm only half black, by the way, which is insane. So like if anyone's gonna have a problem, I'm designated to stop people, because apparently I am threatening out there.
Where the fuck is Michael? Someone get him now.
Yeah, like
please.
literally, like
We need Michael.
I am threatening out there apparently. So this girl comes into the gate trying to get in. She's like, let me in the gate, asshole. I live here. I'm like, okay, I don't care. My friend owns the fucking building. I don't give a fuck. If you want to get into the backyard, you can't. Go in the front door. And she's like arguing with me, yelling at me, like pushing me, trying to get into this back gate. And I'm like, dude, what is wrong with this girl, bro? Like, she's insane. And so eventually she comes up and she's like, I'm going to get into the door, and starts slapping me, trying to push me over. And I'm like holding myself, bracing myself against the gate opening, like, stop it. Like, I'm not going to let you in. What is wrong with you? And then she comes and like puts her hand on my face. And so I push her. And because she's drunk as shit, she falls to the ground.
And she felt ugly as fuck too.
Yeah. And y'all know how this looked in Waco, Texas. A colored boy pushing a white girl to the ground.
Done. Someone get the sheriff.
Someone get the sheriff.
So she calls the police.
Oh my
What
god!
the fuck?
She calls the police. And guess how quick these police arrived?
They were there in like 5 minutes.
46 seconds.
They arrived in like 30 seconds within her calling. The
Guns drawn.
shit.
Where is he?
Oh, no,
Where
dead
is
ass. I'm standing at the gate the whole time like, yeah, call the police. I don't give a shit. You're drunk as fuck. These motherfuckers pull up 4 squad cars deep. Hop out the squad cars. Pistols drawn. Pistols drawn.
At you?
At me.
You heard the story she told them?
Yeah. I'm
What she
sitting
told,
there.
like, he pushed me over?
Yeah, he pushed me on the ground. He
And that's how
assaulted
they
me.
came?
Yeah, and they came. They pulled up 4. It was like 6 people, because they came in 4 squad cars, and they all had guns drawn, pointed at me.
Jesus.
So
Christ.
they take me and like put me in handcuffs and take me to the car, and I'm like, bro, put me in handcuffs, because I'm like, I already know. Like, I've got my hands up. You hear how I talk. I know how to assimilate for these motherfuckers. Yeah. Don't kill my ass. So I put my hands up. I put them on my back. They take me to the car, and they're asking me what happened. I'm like, this bitch is drunk as hell. She was trying to get into the party. I wouldn't let her get in. So basically, my friend, I said his name. Asshole Pete comes outside. He's like,
I'll bleep it out. I'll bleep it out.
He's like, where the fuck is Michael? What is going on? What is going on right now? y'all tell me. He was just freaking out. This dude was freaking out.
To the cops?
Little Ben Shapiro was pissed off. He was like, what the fuck? Hypothetically speaking, you took my one black friend, and this white
done
girl
with him?
was pushed on the ground. Did you even ask him what happened? And this is literally the conversation I'm hearing him say to these police. It's like, you didn't ask him what happened, did you? Because he's black. Yeah, and you don't care what happens to him because he's black, because he wants the cops to get out of his place.
Yeah.
But he's also like knowing that like if I guilt trip these motherfuckers,
They're gonna leave.
They're gonna let my black friend go.
Yeah.
And so he's like playing that card over and over again. I didn't say anything about it. He's like, you have guns drawn on my one black friend. He's like freaking out. Like he cares so much about me being black.
Yeah.
that these police legit let me go. They're like,
Wow.
all right,
Really?
all right, we're
It's
gonna let
enough
him go.
Ben Shapiro. We get it.
All right, Ben Shapiro. He's like, all right. Hypothetically, you need to get the fuck off my lawn. And like that was it. But
Damn.
yeah, so
Damn.
it
All
was
jokes
like,
aside, though, that's kind of crazy that they did that.
it's insane.
That's fucked up.
And guess what? That girl managed to get a fucking restraining order against me.
That's insane.
What the
You guys live,
fuck?
I'm
you live
not
above
surprised.
her. No,
Well,
you
my
didn't
friend
live
lived
there.
above her. My friend lived above her. Still, I could still go to the house if my friend was inviting me over, technically, because he owned the
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
But out of that dwelling or anywhere else, I could not be around her because she actually managed to get a fucking restraining order.
That's the craziest shit
Wow,
I've ever heard.
what?
That she managed.
Yeah.
Because there's no way they didn't show up and
Ridiculous.
see that she was
Yeah.
like stupid drunk.
No, seriously, that's the thing. It's crazy. But because I like retaliated and she technically lived there, they gave her a restraining order.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it was really because she was a white girl in
Yeah.
fucking Waco, Texas.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was like I guess an example of a person being like ignorant piece of shit, but it's still kind of, they're not completely shitty people, even the worst
Yeah.
of them, they're not completely shitty, but this guy was just rich, he's silver spoon. Just not a good guy.
He just didn't want him in his house, though. To be honest,
Exactly,
Because
yeah.
if they got in the house,
Yeah.
it would have been raps. Like it would have
Exactly.
been bad. So
Yeah. And
Wow.
we had fake weed in the house as well.
Yeah.
Clean the house.
It'd be no good if they got in there and saw the fake
Officer,
weed.
it's all novelty. Come on.
Officer, it's all novelty. We just we sell these fake weeds for fun.
My God. Just a bunch of disconnected rich white kids.
Yeah. But the parties were awesome.
All right, so you were at Baylor for how long? Like a year and a half? A
Just
year?
1 year.
1
1 year.
year?
I took my ass the fuck home, man. I had to get out of there. It was too expensive.
yeah,
I got an entire half ride scholarship. That shit was $25K.
yeah.
So it's
I had to
50
pay
in total.
$25K more. Like that shit's insane.
Oh my.
Insane. I got like a lot of scholarships otherwise, but it was like still like, bro, I think it was like 9,000 or 10,000 that I paid out of pocket.
And it's in Texas, right?
Yeah.
Waco, Texas.
Private
What
school.
the fuck?
Private school.
Oh, it's
Oh
private.
my God.
I didn't know it was private.
Oh yeah, I did not go to Baylor for records.
Yeah, he didn't go there.
Let the record show that I did not go to Baylor University.
Yeah.
We were talking about Baylor in Mexico.
International Technical
In-
Technology
yeah,
College.
in Mexico.
ITT.
Yeah, ICT.
ITT.
If they exist anymore, guys, and it's like they've been taken out of business. Or they've been, what's it called? They like take away their accreditation or
That's
something?
been my first year
Really?
at Everest, actually.
Yeah.
You're sitting on the couch, and your life's passing you by.
What the fuck are you doing?
What the fuck you doing? Get up and sign up for Everest.
Hop your ass up here. You
Wait,
want to
so-
see a drunk white woman? Come on.
Wow, man, that's a fucking shame that you had to go through that kind of thing.
I know,
bro.
man. That's
Hey
so
man,
shitty.
but
You got that on your record though. They saw that you got
and
accepted there.
the time there had its perks, bro. Like there was a night where the basketball team showed up to a party. Sorry, I'm moving the mic too much.
No, you're good.
But
No, you're good,
the
bro.
basketball team showed up to a party, and I got on the stage with them, and I'm like dancing on stage with the basketball team, and
Yeah.
girls are like grinding, and they think that I'm on the basketball team, and the guys on the basketball team, they know that I'm not. But I'm like, hey, bro, like,
Just
you,
let me
you gonna let me
slide.
slide? And they're like twice my height. They're like, yeah, bro, I don't give a fuck. So I'm partying with the basketball team,
Yeah.
just because like I'm getting away with it somehow. So that was a good night, It's that same night some kid fell off of the roof and like had a seizure and went to the hospital, and I think he's retarded for the rest of his life.
Holy.
Oh my
So you
God.
get
From Baylor to Veggie, dude.
you
That's a hell of a night.
you get a good balance. You get a good balance.
Dude, that's a hell of a night.
Holy
It's
shit.
wild, bro. It's wild.
You think your life would have been very different now if you would have stayed at Baylor?
Oh yeah.
Well, do you think you'd be like a different person at all?
How so? Yeah.
Nah.
You
I don't
would've
think
just
so.
Put up with it for another 3 years.
Yeah, honestly, but no, I think I'd be a different person. I think I'd be dead. I probably would have killed myself because
I felt very like alone. Like very. You gotta feel like
I met a lot of good friends up there. Like I had good friends and stuff, so that wasn't a problem. It wasn't like I was super alone. But I miss being here. I miss being in Houston. Miss my friends from Houston.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, I was in business school, bro. I did not want to do that. So I was like killing myself.
And you're paying hella money to
and
like.
so it would be different if I was like at HCC doing business classes and just trying to get like a head start. But no, I was spending like it was 50 racks for a year of me doing classes that I did not, and not even just that. It was like you have to take prerequisite classes. You know, like
So you weren't even getting to the real business.
Yeah. I was, and then they made me take a Bible class where I read the Bible.
Gotta drop what, like fucking 10K on that,
bro.
Oh my god,
A Bible class.
A Bible class.
Might as well just take a fiction class, bro.
It's
That's
insane.
funny.
That's controversial take, guys.
Like for real, bro. That shit was insane, and it was not fun.
Let's not all fool ourselves. There's
So, like-
absolutely no reason anyone should be forcing religious classes on
Absolutely.
anybody at
no.
any college.
But I mean, but you go there and it's,
you know why.
It's a cult, bro.
you want to get in here or not?
Yeah, you want to get in here or not? You got to read the Bible, nigga. I'm telling you right now. It's like that's legit. That's legit how it is out there, bro.
All right, so Michael, you get back from Houston. You're here.
Yeah.
And I see you at the halls of my university. I'm just like, oh shit, what's up, man?
Yeah.
Like, go up to you, give you a hug. It's been a long time.
A little smooth.
And a little kiss on the neck, and you know, so on and so forth, guys. I'll let you guys imagine what happens next. But after that, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm a little inebriated.
Banging on the window outside.
I'm losing my pace here, but all right. After that, I don't really see you as much because I think I have different classes.
Yeah.
So I go to different buildings, and you're like in a few other buildings that I'm not in.
Yeah.
So what happens after that? Because I feel like I saw you much less at a certain point. Because we used to go to school together. Like I would take you to school, or I'd pick you up or something like that sometimes.
Yeah, that year was rough, bro. That year was super rough.
That was your first year back. Like that was your sophomore year.
Yeah, it was super rough, bro. I was just like coming off from Baylor, just partying all the time. I mean, I left there somehow, like partying all the time with a nice GPA. So I came back to U of H just like, it's gonna be the same thing. I'm gonna just do my school, whatever, party on weekends. But it was like I'm commuting. It was like way different, you know.
Yeah.
And I was in the business school now, and they were like U of H. They do it way differently. It's a public school too. It's not private. So like they have like their way is like, all right, find out what you're doing, like get your shit together, make a plan. Like I'm not gonna tell you what to do. This is Houston. If you don't do shit right, you're fucked.
Yeah.
So basically, I was there like that whole year, just taking like insane business classes. I took like microeconomics, macro, all that stuff. You know, whatever. It sucked. I hated it. It was like, God, it was the worst experience. It was worse than being at Baylor. Like I hated it worse than being at Baylor.
Especially having no passion for it at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I was like just wanted to drink and not do shit. So it was like I was wasting more time just being a student.
How can I do this while drunk the entire time?
Yeah, exactly. That's literally
can I do
literally
this
how
while
it was.
drunk the entire time?
That's literally what it was. Like, bro, I'm just gonna be lit the whole way through this because this shit sucks.
So, well, let me ask you, Michael. Why did you even go into business at all? Like,
Yeah.
you
Was it
just
because it was a
Art
safe
hadn't
choice?
called you just yet, or what?
You know why? Remember in high school when I did the taco stand and I had like a little taco business
Yeah,
going?
and it
I
was
remember
fucking,
that.
It was honestly a hit. I
Give
swear to God.
the audience a breakdown of this,
Jesus Christ.
so
What's it
they
called again?
so they
Taco
understand.
Cap.
Taco Cap.
Yes, sir.
So tell the audience what Taco Cap is.
So Taco Cap was a business that sold fried tacos and fried burritos. I actually did this when I was in junior year of high school. I made a small business, got a small donation of $3,000 from HEB or something to like sell tacos, make a little taco stand basically. So I partnered up with like some little stops where they'd have like food trucks and stuff. Would go to places like that. And I even got it at like the school for like some events to sell tacos, whatever. But yeah, it was just a little business. We made some money. You know, spent it, got lit, had a good time.
And that's enough of that.
Had a good time, and that was it. But yeah, basically it was just like I had that little bit of entrepreneurial spirit, and I kind of liked it, and kind of liked it.
So you thought, I'm just gonna make.
I liked the
business
money.
easy.
I liked the money. I didn't really like
yeah.
what I was doing, but I liked the money, and I could fucking fry some tacos and burritos. That's whatever.
Yeah.
So that was pretty much it. It was just like I can do something with business because I know how to start a business. Whatever. That was the amount of thinking that was put into it, and also my parents will be happy that I'm going to a good school, doing something practical that will give me money. Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That was the biggest reason.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I'm appeasing my parents because, like, you know,
it just
fucking-
felt like like the right thing to do. In a way.
exactly. Yeah. So that was like the reasoning for it. I'm just gonna go and do the right thing for my family, go do what they say, and then hopefully it'll be all cool.
Why didn't you continue with the entrepreneurial thing? You just couldn't come up with any ideas, or just wasn't for you?
Yeah, there was like I had no passion for anything else. Like, what am I gonna do? Sell tacos and fried burritos for the rest of my life? No, I definitely don't. Right. And so like once I thought about that, I was like, wait, but
I'm about to leave high school. Hold on.
I was like, wait, but ain't really nothing else that I could do. And it's like, what am I doing? And I don't know why it took me so long to realize it, Like, I had to go through like a lot of shit just to get me in the mind state where I had to really like stop and think like, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah. And that was like the point where I think my connection to art really grew, was like, I had like, I don't know if y'all know this. It's gonna be sounding a little sad, but whatever. Who gives a shit? I had like a DWI. So like that shit sucked. I was on like probation. I had to stay home all the time. So that's like where I really started like sitting down, not having shit to do except do my schoolwork and draw. So like I was having such a good time doing that. And I've started to remember like, damn, this shit, I could do this. And I used to do this a lot. Why did I ever stop doing this? And even when I was at Baylor, like I would still draw sometimes periodically. And my friends there were just like, what are you doing here? Like, why are you here doing this? And it took me even like a year after coming back to Houston to really tell myself like, what the hell have I been doing this whole time? Like I'd stopped for 2 years of my life to not do something that I was passionate about, to do some other stuff that ultimately was going to lead my life into self-destructive behavior, to do shit, to just harm myself all the time.
Wait, so you weren't drawing at all for like 2 years?
Yeah, exactly. So it was 2 years. At Baylor, like I said, like I would draw a few things. I'd show my friends stuff that I'd done in high school. They'd always be like, yeah, that's really good. Like, why aren't you doing something with that? Even like when I used to like be heavy into rap or whatever, like they would tell me like, why aren't you doing something creative? Why are you at the school doing like business classes and reading Bibles, doing Bible study?
It's funny that they understand the difference and like they see what's going on.
Yeah, so even those people were telling me like, what are you doing?
It's almost like a put down to yourself.
Yeah, and I was just like what?
Is it like that? Like you can tell I'm not enjoying that at all. Like
I don't know. Maybe I was like being arrogant and was trying to prove that I didn't make the wrong decision, and then like I'm just gonna stick to it because this was I can't be wrong. Like this has to be right. Like I had to have chosen the right thing, but I was wrong. I was wrong for 2 years straight.
So you stayed in business for 1 year when you got back to
yes, and I was just like I wasted more time. It was like I was being crazy, and so yeah, once that happened, I was sitting down doing my art, and then like I got into it, and to the point where I'm at now, where like I do this shit all the time, and I'm like actually starting to make some money off of it. So it's like it's really good. It's like a journey.
So
wheels are turning.
Would you be all right with telling us about the DWI story, or you feel like you want to keep that off the podcast?
Nah, fuck all that, dude. I don't care. Shit was crazy.
Tell
shit
the
was
audience.
Crazy. Matter of fact, this is a good story.
Tell the audience your experience with this shit. And,
so I was with. Can I say a couple of our friends' names? I mean, you guys all know them. I don't think they would care if I say.
Say their names. Say their names. We're usually no names, but for Michael Grip. For Mike G, Michael Grip, whatever the hell his name is, Versacekenpachi.
This asshole
for
right
him,
here.
we can say as many names we want. Go ahead.
But yeah, it was my boys Johnny and Daryl. Yeah, that's the boys.
What are the last names?
Yeah. So yeah, we were going out to a party. This was like in where was it? It was like Pasadena or something, like outside of Pasadena. It was either Pasadena or like Northside Houston. One of those.
On the boonies.
No, it was Northside Houston. Yeah.
All terrible.
Yeah, all terrible. All terrible. Yeah.
Horrible.
So basically, we went out to this party. It was some girls' party. It was pretty lit. We had lots of drinks. The end of the night was coming down to a close, and I have friends back in A-Leaf, and I was like, hey, man, I'm at a pretty cool party. We got a lot of alcohol here, and this is kind of like an all Vietnamese kid party. Sorry, Raymond, and if you're here, and sorry, all of my Vietnamese friends. I'm sorry, all of you. But yeah. So we were like, these guys aren't doing shit. So we were kind of being assholes. I was being a piece of shit. So that's why it kind of like leads to the point where I deserved that fucking DWI that night. So I was like being a piece of shit. I walked in the kitchen, grabbed a big bottle of vodka. I'm looking around at all the short people in the room, and I'm like, no one's gonna do anything if I take this bottle. I'm drunk as shit. This is, I don't always think like this, but I was drunk.
So you're already deep in the game at this point.
Oh yeah, I was litty to titty. So I take that bottle, I chug that bottle, I throw my head back and chug the bottle like 1, 2, 3. All right, put it down.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I walk straight out the door with the bottle in hand, like, all right. It doesn't even have a top on it. I put it in my car on like the passenger side floor, just put it on the floor. Like, all right, cool, I got a bottle. I come back inside, I'm like, let me go get the boys, tell them we're going to go leave. I see a bottle of tequila on the counter. The same counter that I took that other bottle from. It's fucking damn near full. So I picked that bottle up. I'm like, I look around at all the
More spoils. More spoils from.
I tilt my head back and I chug that bottle for like
Oh my goodness.
one second, like one smooth second.
Just a little baby shot.
That's a little baby shot.
4 shots
a
right
little baby
there.
chug for the road.
Yeah,
You know?
maybe 2-3 shots.
It's light work. It's light work is what it is.
So I go out to the car, put that bottle in the car, no top in there. I go back inside to get the boys. I see one final bottle, one final contender, a bottle of tequila, a tall bottle of tequila, also
Blowing at
full,
you.
also full. It was like super bad. It was like super bad, bro.
the
ghost leak.
Emptied out
Yeah,
the
exactly.
detergent and just.
So there's no top on it. I tilt it back. I take a shot. This one was maybe been like one shot. At this point, I was super drunk. So I come back to the car. I put that bottle in the car. I get on an app that shall not be named that records short videos. This is not TikTok. This is back in the day before TikTok.
Yeah.
But I record a little video for my boys. I'm like, hey, man, I'm coming back to A-Leaf. We're finna get lit tonight. Fuck yeah, whatever. You know, just letting the boys know I'm coming home. I was so drunk. I don't even know how I managed to record that.
Wait, were you with Johnny and Daryl at this time?
No.
No,
So
okay.
at
You're
this
about to meet
point,
up with them.
yeah, at this point, I walk back inside. I get Daryl. Daryl's falling asleep because you know Daryl always falls asleep first. Put Daryl in the car. We've got like fake weed, of course, in the car.
Never.
And yeah, fake weed, all
Yeah.
fake. Couple blunts rolled up of fake weed.
Yeah.
And then I remember, we're sitting in the car ready to go home, and Johnny pulls up next to me, and he's like, hey, bro, you ready? This is back when Johnny had the little red coupe.
Yeah.
The little red coupe. He pulls up next to me. Skirt, you ready to go, boy? I'm like, hell yeah, let's go. So we pull off. I remember like I pulled up behind Johnny at a stop sign, busted a right, saw the lights, pulled another left, and then I remember I got to a stoplight. And I remember just seeing the lights green, and I was just driving. And next thing I remember is a cop shining his lights in my, like his flashlight in my eyes.
God.
So I don't remember anything after that point. Like after like a minute of me getting in the car, instant gone. I don't remember anything at all.
What was the reason for the stop? Aside from he never
The
told you.
reason for the stop. I was parked, not even parked, bro. I pulled over somehow drunkenly on West Park Tollway. I don't remember where on West Park Tollway, but I made it all the way back to West Park Tollway somehow.
Jeez.
I was pulled over on the side of the tollway with my foot on the brake. So my car wasn't even in park.
Oh my
My
God.
foot was on the brake and I was passed out, like just
Yo.
slumped. So this dude woke me up. He sat on me to put the car in park. And he shined his light in my face, and I think that's when I woke up because he told me that he had to sit on me to put my car in park.
Yeah.
And so I woke up. He's like, "Sir, are you okay?" I said, "Nah." He said, "Have you been drinking?" I said, "Yeah. Can you help me up, please?" And I put my hands up. I was like, "Can you help me up, man?" He's like, "Yeah, I got you." So he pulls me out of the car. This is this super nice cop.
Yeah.
So we pull over somewhere, and he's like doing the test and all that. And I'm like, "Man, I'm gonna fail. Like this. Do you really need to do this to me?" And he's like, "Yeah, we just have to do it for protocol." So I'm like stumbling, like. And actually, I'm thinking in my head, like, I'm not doing too bad.
Maybe I guess it was a joke all along.
Yeah, like,
it's really tired.
Yeah, like I didn't fall over or nothing. So I'm like, damn, I might pass this bad boy. I'm not gonna lie. And they're like, can we breathalyze you? I'm like, yeah. Like, there's nothing else I could do. Y'all know I've been drinking. I had 3 open bottles of alcohol in my car that at that point had spilled in my car.
Oh,
so the
shit.
floorboard of my car was just full of alcohol. It was horrible. And yeah, so that was the night I ended up going to jail, and it sucked ass, bro. I was in there for like 24, maybe 30, 32. I don't know. I was in there. I don't know how long.
Were you
I
in
was.
You don't fucking
holding?
know.
I went in Friday. Yeah, I was in holding
you were
the
in the
whole
drunk
time.
tank for a
The
while.
Yeah,
whole time?
I was in holding the whole time.
Yeah.
So I was just getting passed around. So
Yeah.
I was in there from Friday night to Monday. No, Sunday. Like Sunday at like 5 in the morning or something.
Yeah.
So when did you sober
That's
up?
garbage.
I sobered up like I'm gonna say damn near immediately. Honestly, as soon as I was in the car and I realized what was going on, I started crying. I was like, "Bro, I'm fucked. Like, I'm done for. I'm fried."
Yeah.
So like, yeah, it was just terrible. And I was in jail. It was cold. You know. It was
What was jail
So no
like?
bed, no nothing. It's just, you were in the holding.
Dude,
the straight
jail
up holding cell with
sucks.
like different people coming in and leaving.
Yeah, and then also like before I even got put into the jail, I had like a Tommy Hilfiger shirt that I still have, but it has like a bunch of pockets on it. And apparently I had like some weed in my jacket.
Absolutely
And the cop,
fried.
he didn't search me well enough. So when I get there, fake weed in my jacket.
Fake weed.
The cop, he's not the cop, but some guy searches my jacket out. He's like, He pulls it out, holds it in the air, and he looks around like, what the hell? Like, how'd this dude get weed into jail, fake weed into jail? And I'm like,
You let me out?
I look at him, I'm like, bruh. I was like, I didn't even know I had that in there. And then the cop looks at me and he was like, really, Michael? I was like, dude, you searched me. I told you everything I had. I figured you found that. And he looked at me and he was like, you're right. I just should have searched you better. And he was like, this, and he like held it and he wagged it at me in my face. Like, this right here, Michael, this is dumb. This is really stupid, man. You're really lucky tonight. And he just walks away and leaves. He's a cool guy. He's a really cool cop.
He had to be.
Could have been another.
He was cool as shit. But yeah, so anyway, jail sucked. I wasn't even really in jail. It was terrible. I was using like bags of bread for pillows, you know.
I feel you.
Did you eat the entire time you're there or not?
I think I might have took like one bite. Oh yeah, no, they had oatmeal cookies at one point. They had I had like 2 oatmeal cookies. I didn't drink any water. I didn't eat anything other than that. It was terrible. It was horrible. I could not drink any water. In the holding cells, you're like drinking over like a toilet where people are pissing and shitting.
Yeah,
Did
it's
you-
it's connected to the tank.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
It's
Did you
insane.
take a piss or take a shit while you were
Nah,
there?
bro. Nothing
probably saw others
nothing
do it.
left.
I've heard there are jails where it's like they have multiple people in one big cell for some parts of them.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, that's the holding.
That's the
Hey,
whole thing.
that's the holding.
Yeah.
So I heard like if they have a restroom in there, some of them do. You have to poop in front of everybody.
Oh yeah.
It'll be like
There's
a
no
room
privacy.
like this, right?
That's
There's like
crazy.
benches
If
you
along the
poop,
wall,
you're
and
insane.
there's a toilet right there.
Imagine
Yeah.
just a bunch of like 20 guys, just mixed race men,
Oh,
just
yeah.
looking at you take a shit.
But I'm not gonna lie, man. At one point, it was like
Oh, my God.
it became like a summer camp because, like, I swear, it's like
making
when you're
friends.
in holding and you're moving around with people who are only going to be in holding for that night for the most part. Like everyone gets to know each other. We had like a bunch of old black men who were in there for fake weed, for like a little joint of fake weed.
That's
Bro,
such bullshit.
so many
Yeah,
people in there for
and they
weed.
were just like comedians walking in the middle of the cell, like roasting people, like let me tell you something, and it was like hilarious. Like it was like summer camp. Everyone's like sitting down, like laughing. Besides a few people who murdered somebody.
Oh my god! I'm sure
You know,
that's not
yeah,
like
right.
facing the
trust
corner in the wall.
There are a couple people who are like, as the crowd is laughing, they're just thinking about like, bro, I'm going to jail for a long time.
Like the people who did the serious shit.
Yeah, they're like, dude, I'm going to jail for a long time.
guys are
this,
laughing.
This is not funny. This is not funny. But yeah, it was like, it was whatever. I read a book about like some dude who started a lawnmower business, and I was like, I'm gonna turn my life around when I get out of here.
Let's go.
And then I didn't end up doing anything else in that book because when I got to the last chapter of that book, the guy was like, and then I went to church and I met a beautiful woman. And I was like,
that's
you're trying to
how the story
scam
ends.
me,
You
boy.
lost me. You lost me with the God stuff.
You're trying to scam me, boy.
God
This
led
is
me
an
to these
indoctrination
lawnmowers.
to a cult an entire time. You sons of bitches.
That's what they do in jail. Try to get you into religion.
But yeah, so I had to go through that. It was whatever, bro. Like, I'm better for it, you know? Like,
It was a learning experience.
shit
for
happens,
sure.
bro.
Yeah,
Shit
absolutely.
happens.
Yeah.
And it gave me like the chance to remember the outlet that I had and that I forgot about. So like, I wouldn't take it back honestly, because
You just learn from it.
exactly, like,
Yeah.
I'd probably be like worse off had it not happened. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine, God forbid, bro. You like, well, God that we don't believe in. That you forbid that you would have like got in an accident that night or some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, drove up
bro,
the side of
for
the
real.
fucking tollway or some
Exactly,
shit.
exactly, bro. Like for real.
The fact that you like only remember like the lights coming on is like the scariest shit in the world
Yes.
to me. Like that's when you
Yes.
woke up, you're like, fuck.
That's real
like,
shit.
not a scratch on my car.
that's
Man.
insane.
I'm a great driver, bro.
and you're on a
I'm a
tollway.
great driver.
Yeah, I'm a great driver. That's
That's
all I can say.
insane, bro.
It's a
Not a-
shame you didn't see him coming and could have sobered up
I
before.
know, man.
You know?
You probably just fell asleep.
No, I did. My body was just like, hey, bro, we going to sleep, bro. And we just pulled
Wait, so
over.
Daryl was in the car with Johnny, I'm assuming, huh?
Yeah, no. Daryl was with me, actually. Daryl was with me. Nothing.
Slumped too?
Slumped hard.
So him.
Slumped
Terrible
hard.
wingman.
Yeah.
Or a
So
co-pilot.
what happened to him?
What happens?
Yeah.
What happens to him? Do the cops just take him home?
They
or something?
take him to a drunk tank. His dad comes, picks him up, takes him home. That was it.
Oh, they took him to.
Damn.
Damn.
That was it.
What was-
Just let
year
him
was
sober
this?
up and that's it.
This was 2016. Just
Okay.
turned
Yeah.
2016.
Damn.
Yeah. Just turned
Okay.
2016.
I'm about to say
19
they should have let him like Uber home or some shit.
Well, no, I was 20. Yeah, I was 20. So I got worse charged because I was
Oh,
underage
underage.
drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And DWI because I was like damn near twice the limit. I was
and then
like,
you had bottles in the car.
yeah, I was like, I think the limit, twice the limit was like what was it, like 116.116 or something?
I couldn't tell you.
0.08.
point.
No,
yeah, point.
oh, sorry, the legal limit is 0.08. I was like double that minus like 0.01 or something like that, or minus 0.001.
0.15, something like that.
Yeah, I was like 0.15. So I was like gone, bro. Like, I barely escaped like a felony charge.
Yeah.
because of that.
Wow, man.
I was gone.
That's like reckless endangerment. type
Yeah,
shit.
basically.
Yeah.
Like you definitely could have killed somebody. I mean, I already could have killed somebody.
So you think that
clearly.
decimal that like saved you big time? Because it was what did you end up getting hit with? Like
hell
just,
yeah, boy! I had to pay like 10 racks. Yeah,
throughout the whole thing.
10
right?
racks throughout
'Cause you
the
gotta
whole.
keep that bitch in there for what, like a year?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
It's bad. It's real bad.
And
And then they take your license, bro. Like you basically can't work because you can't. Where are you gonna drive? How you gonna drive? Like you have to get people to drive you everywhere. I'm commuting to and from school.
Yeah.
So it's like, bro, life was like, all right, you can't do nothing now, boy. You on house arrest. You go to school, you come home.
That's
you
it.
basically can't work. It was really bad. Like I had to find a job that I could walk to at that point. Like it sucked.
It's not a very functional way to punish people that do that kind of
Not
thing.
at all.
How on earth are you gonna like turn your life around, or for the people that really need to turn their life around? How are you gonna do that if you can't
You
get
get
a job?
lucky. You gotta get lucky. Basically, have like somebody to help you out. Because if you're just like a random dude who's
Who's like new to the city or
drink
something
at home
like that,
all
or
day.
just
or you've got like no family, like no good family to care about what's going on with you.
you're fucked.
You're fucked. No one's gonna help you, and you got to pay all this shit. And if you don't pay all this shit, you're going to jail. So it's like,
For sure.
yeah.
How am I gonna pay the shit? I can't
Is that
get a
what
job.
happens? What if you're like, oh, I don't even have a car? Like, I don't.
Well, you get the home breathalyzer unit, which I had for a little bit, and
so they
you
get
have
you
to.
either way.
That's even worse too,
Yeah.
because you have to blow into that at 3 designated times. One is like from like 5 to 7 a.m. in the morning. One is like 11 to like 2 in like the midday, and then one is like again like at 5 to 7. And that thing, either you take a big suitcase around everywhere with you, pull it out, plug it in, let it turn on. It's like the most humiliating thing you could ever do. So it's either you do that, or you have it in your house and you're on house arrest because you basically have to come home, and you have to be at home on these times every
Take
day.
it.
Yeah.
And you can't consume any alcohol at all.
Any at all?
No, because if you consume alcohol, they'll
You'll
find
get caught
out.
in the hour. You'll get
Exactly.
caught like in a few hours.
Exactly.
Even
I thought
like
it was
maybe
just
like
that
a
fast.
beer, but even then, why risk it?
Yeah. What's the point?
Yeah, it was bad, bro. It was real bad.
man.
So it's like the worst, least functional way to like rehabilitate somebody. You know, if I was like a severe alcoholic, bro, like I would have been fried.
Yeah,
if I couldn't stop drinking, like, or I was getting drug tested too, so if I couldn't stop smoking, then I would have been screwed. I would have went to jail.
Yeah.
Because if you were like a severe alcoholic and you really have an addiction and you're getting drug tested all these times, then you're just basically just like, all right, do this or you're going to go to jail. Also, pay all this stuff or you're going to go to jail. Also, you can't go anywhere or you're going to go to jail. It's like, bro, I can't do anything. Or what am I supposed to do?
Failure at that point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
It
Seriously,
sets
like
you
they're
up
asking for it.
to fail, man.
It's like
So,
when I remember when I went to jail, like a lot of the people that I had in my holding cell had told me that they had already been there before. I actually ran into someone from our school, which is crazy,
That usually happens.
in the holding cell. Do you remember a dude named, I'm going to say his name, Kendrick? He was a shorter guy. He used to buy shoes.
I think
Skinnier
Shorter
dude?
guy, kind of skinny. He had freckles. He was a light-skinned kid.
Yeah, I do remember him.
Do you remember his tall friend, Darius? Taller friend. He had a flat top. Kind of looked like young Will Smith, maybe.
Young Will Smith.
Yeah,
They used to hang out all the time.
Young Will
Which one of them?
Smith.
Which one of them
Will
wasn't
Smith.
there though?
It was Darius. It was the other one.
I
Not
don't
Kendrick. It
remember
was his
Darius.
friend.
I remember Kendrick, but no Darius.
But I just knew them as like a pair because I'd always seen them together. But it was that kid, and I went in there, and like he was like he kept looking at me, and he was like, "Bro, did you go to Taylor?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then I was like, "How'd you know that?" And then as I got like when he came over and started talking to me, I got a better look at him, and I was like, "Holy shit, dude!" I was like, "Are you Darius?" He was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Man, this is like my third time here." Blah 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 about how like he's been getting caught in like a cycle and like. Last time he was in there, it was like a couple months ago, and he was in there for a few months. Like it's
my
crazy, bro.
God.
It's not a good rehabilitation program.
It's like, why are you here? And he's like, yeah, I have some unpaid parking tickets. And the other dude's like, yeah, I just smoked fucking 4 grams of meth, bro.
75% of the people
Such
were
a
there for like weed
huge
related
range.
things.
Yeah,
like,
that-
oh, I had weed and like I was out on a
so
date and I had
stupid.
fucking weed, or like, like I was with my friend and like we had weed and we were driving and blah blah blah. It's so fucking, and it'd be small amounts to like huge amounts, but like they're
Yeah.
all in there. It's fucking, I don't know. It's a weird thing, dude.
It's a money scheme.
It's a big money scheme, bro. It's
Private
really what it
prisons,
is.
man.
Yeah.
We can get into the shit, guys. I mean,
I'm about to say I don't.
private prisons,
Yeah.
run by lizard people.
For real.
But no,
Lil
honestly,
Wayne's in them.
private prisons,
$10,000
bro.
bro, off someone drinking and driving.
real.
That's a money scheme
Absolutely.
right there.
Yeah.
If I ever heard of one.
They keep you
real.
in the court system as long as you can. You keep showing up. You
Yep.
got to pay these lawyers. You
Yep.
got to pay
Exactly.
this person, that
The fees
person.
rack up.
It's crazy, man.
Big money scheme.
This country bills people up to break them down, bro.
Which county did you go to? It was what county?
It was Harris
Pasadena?
County.
It was Harris County.
I made it all the way back to
Yeah, it was
West
on
Park
West Park
Tollway.
Tollway.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
That's
I
right.
made it
that's
all the
right.
way back. Yeah, God bless my soul.
God bless my
I've heard Harris
soul.
County's even worse.
If I no. If I was in like a white people jail, man, I think it would have been much worse.
Like if you was caught in
think so?
Pasadena,
I think so.
Yeah, man.
I don't know what the hell
that
going
could've
on.
been
Pasadena's
really
that's yeah.
it's still Harris County.
No, I think it is. No, it's not. It's
Can't
not.
be.
It's
No,
not.
no,
It's
no.
not.
It's a different city.
It's different.
So, Michael,
Okay.
where do you? So that happens. Now you're living back in Houston.
Yeah.
Time has passed now, and you can finally drive again. You can get
Yeah.
a job.
Yeah.
So
That was a
right,
day. The first
and,
day you turned
and
it
this
on
whole
without
time, you hit the nail on the head because I remember you did start doing a shitload of art. Like
Yeah.
you started doing a lot of art.
Yeah.
Within a short span of time, you were just drawing all the time. Because I would hit you up any time of the day. You'd be like, I'm drawing. I'm doing this. It would
all I do.
almost always be drawing.
Yeah.
So what do you feel like? How do you feel like your style evolved from then until now?
Oh yeah. So
Like the different kinds of art you got into and whatnot.
yeah. So starting off then was like I was just drawing anime stuff. You know, like cartoons, anime, cartoon characters smoking fake weed. You know.
Yeah, it was always like famous character.
Yeah, it was just fun. It was just fun little shit, you know. and then I experimented a little bit with like edgy, I'm depressed art, you know, for a little bit, which is
Yeah.
always fun. You know, you always get that out of there because it's easy. But like, yeah, so I did that for a little bit, and it wasn't so much about me like learning or getting better at art. It was more so about me just like having an outlet and just doing something to pass the time that I wouldn't feel like I was going crazy, and it like helped affirm my feelings, you know, like how I was feeling, like just remind myself like what I was thinking, like what's going on.
Yeah.
So like that's where it started. And then now I think a couple years later, I've gotten to the point where I see it as not only a way to, you know, like show myself and other people how I'm feeling, but also like give a certain type of message about like, you know, remind people. You see like my art is a lot more oriented around death and like the idea of death and stuff.
Yeah.
So like that idea is like just a way like memento mori. I'm sure you all know about that like little Italian phrase, which means like remember you must die. It's just like that's like death is like the idea of that drawing where death is smelling the flower.
Yeah.
It's like death being a literal interpretation of like your reminder to stop and smell the flowers. Like remember, like just experience life and enjoy shit. Stop freaking out so much all the time. Just like, yeah, like just appreciate the little things.
Yeah.
And like
Personifying it that
that's where the art has gotten to, I think, for me. And like I want to have that. I have a drive to want to master it better. That way, I can convey that type of idea in a more intricate way, so that people can look at something and instantly have like a connection to it. You know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm seeking now. Yeah.
the
Interesting.
trademark skulls and the trademark skeletons. Yeah,
Exactly.
he draws skeletons. For people that don't know, he draws skeletons
Yeah.
like really, really well.
Yeah.
I always thought maybe it was the anatomy you liked about it and the way
I
they
do
looked and stuff.
I do like that.
Yeah,
I do like
the,
it now.
like the shape of the human skull
Yeah,
and whatnot. Like
exactly.
I'm sure you know a lot about like proportions and whatnot,
Yeah.
right? Because you're an artist.
Exactly.
What do they say? Like, your foot is like the length of your arm or something like that, or am I
No.
just mistaken and stupid?
No, your foot.
Stupid.
Probably a little bit of both.
It'd be like it's not your foot, but I know like certain proportions of your arm are gonna match. Like your wingspan is gonna be, I think like 90% of your height or some shit like that. Like little
Yeah.
things like that. But I mean, the most that I've like researched over is like the skull, and just learning like the proportions of like the human anatomy. It gives you like a respect for older styles of art and like how people draw that. I just have a respect for anyone who can look at anything tangible in the world and put it down on paper or a sculpture or something like that, because that takes a lot of technical skill that is not really, I feel like it doesn't get enough credit. Like people don't necessarily look at art too much now in the lens of this takes an incredible amount of technical skill, because you've got like abstract art, minimalist art, and all this stuff that's like, it's like a fucking piece of shit on the table or a banana strapped to a wall, you know? So it's like people see that type of stuff and art's kind of got like that rap of being like pretentious. It has no meaning.
Yeah.
It's like just for like taxes and stuff, which to a certain degree it very much can be. And it very much is. But it's like, I don't know. I just feel like the idea of fucking the Romans and the art of like the older days and like that type of thinking about art as like scientific and like for learning and stuff like that, I think that's really interested, and it's just something that should be carried on, you know,
Yeah.
like forever. I just think that's really important. you know.
I was either like watching or reading something about that, about how people say that like nobody draws tangible things anymore, and like they're all just those like splotches of paint, shit like that, and like
Jackson Pollock type shit.
yeah. The tangible art is just not as popular as it used to be, which is true. That shit is very hard to draw, like just a regular street with like a bistro on the side or something like that. Now people just have to add way too much or just make it look so unbelievable and like euphoric almost. But it's, I don't know, something's pretty amazing about someone drawing an actual thing in the world and making it look like pretty much perfect.
Yeah. I feel like Omar, you hit the nail on the head. Like I feel like a lot of art now is like spectacle. I remember I read like this article about an artist who he was doing a painting, and in order to like paint the red, he'd punch himself in the face.
Yeah.
Make himself bleed, and then use like the fucking nose blood and mouth blood to like rub it and smear it and do different shit with it on the painting.
People just want a good story.
Yeah,
People just want, like, almost. What's the reason for it really? And it's just like colors, like in a. I don't know,
I mean that's like, bro. I feel like it can be said about a lot of things, like popular music and shit. You know, it's less about being meaningful and more about the spectacle. And
absolutely,
you can't really say like it's. I won't say like it's bad. Like I wouldn't be the type of person to be like, oh, abstract minimalist art or whatever. Like that's shitty because it doesn't take as much skill. Like no, it takes a certain type of skill. It takes like understanding of color, whatever.
Oh, for sure.
Composition. So like there's something important about it, but it's like the way that we are taught to look at art is not proper, because when people look at abstract art or something like that, seems like at face value this is nothing. We're not trained to have like the, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. Like the
capacity to even understand like what that might be, like what the message. I mean,
the process going into.
You know,
exactly.
Yeah. Like you said, there's nothing wrong with that stuff. There is definitely like it's a beautiful thing, but
there's a crowd for it.
I don't know, man.
Absolutely.
It seems like modern art is just too much.
Oh yeah, bro.
It's all steering towards that direction.
Yeah, and it's subjective too, right? So like art can like you can look at some art and think it's shitty, and that's okay. Like that's what it should do.
It's an opinion.
Yeah, exactly. It should make an opinion, right? It should give you that type of thinking.
But it's when that opinion like overpowers everything, and that becomes like the main focus for everybody else that's doing art. That's probably the issue.
Yeah. What's worse is when you have art and you can't come up with an opinion on it because
it doesn't mean shit.
Nothing.
There's no point of it being there.
Yeah, exactly. That's the bad part. Is when you see the art and it's just like, you should either be like, that's really good, or be like, that's a piece of shit.
It should make you feel something.
Yes.
That's a great way to sum it up. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
You should look at it like it's either good or it's bad.
Yeah, it's either good or it's a piece of shit. And even if you think it's a piece of shit, it's good that it made you think that.
Yeah.
You know, because it's supposed to do that. It's supposed to make you think some type of thing about it.
Yeah,
it makes
you
you
feel
think
that way
nothing.
stimulates the mind.
Yeah, and
in
if
some
it makes
way,
you think
one way
nothing,
or another.
it's like a so good it's bad movie. Or a so bad it's good movie.
Like The Room.
Yeah, exactly. Like that is a work of art. Like that is a literal work of art.
It takes a certain mind to make something like that.
Like that's shitty.
Why is he talking to the dog?
Exactly.
Why is he talking to
like,
the dog?
Like Spider-Man 3, bro.
Like Spider-Man 3.
That movie's a piece of shit, but it's so fun to watch.
Where was Sandman most of the time?
Spider-Man,
I don't know.
Dude,
Shout
Spider-Man
out to
3.
Sam Raimi, man.
Spider-Man 3 is one of the most fun movies to watch.
Exactly.
I watched it in theaters, and I think that was probably one of, if not the greatest movies I've ever seen in
Yeah,
theaters.
emo Tobey Maguire, bro.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Snapping
When he
down
comes
the
out
street.
there,
And he's like
shaking
slightly
those fists.
overweight.
Yeah, bro.
He's just like just a little bit. He's not like fat, but just,
Yeah.
just a
No
little.
facial hair, so he has like a straight double chin.
He was
like a
eating
baby.
good. He was eating good from the Spider-Man
He's
1 and 2.
just like,
You know
He was
they're gonna
eating
make a
good.
4
He's
too?
eating
I
good
don't know
off the
what the fuck
Spider-Man
happened.
action
They fucked
figure
it up
movie.
so bad with 3 that they never did a 4.
Because they were going to put Homeboy in 4.
he got too old, guys. I
They
think
were putting
Toby?
Green Goblin
Tobey
in
Maguire.
4, I think.
I think he wanted to do different
He's gonna be
projects
the
too.
villain.
Green Goblin was already.
But dude, he doesn't even
Season
work
2
that
of
much
him.
anymore.
Green Goblin
failed.
and his
He
son.
fucking
Remember?
failed.
James Franco was his son.
No, it was Venom. Venom was supposed to be in the 4th.
Venom. Yeah.
They were going to do a
Venom was
4th
supposed to
one.
be its own
Foreman.
thing.
And then
but-
Foreman
the
was
studios made him put everybody in the one movie. Yeah. And that fucked it up.
Yeah.
Because it was supposed to be just a Sandman.
Yeah, they fucked up with that, bro. What, 3 of them?
Yeah, that
How
was
on
terrible.
earth is he supposed to beat 3 of them?
retarded.
Don't lie
That's
to me.
terrible.
And act like he pulled something out of his ass and beat 3 of them.
That's terrible.
I've always loved the Spider-Man like universe. Like,
Oh, yeah.
It's the best universe.
It's honestly one of the best, if not the best. You know which one I think that they have not been able to master on film yet is Superman.
Yeah.
I feel like they have not
Superman
been able to do.
is so fucking cool, bro.
is.
And Superman's super cool, but
He's
they haven't
just
been able
too
to do it
perfect,
right,
dude.
bro.
No, he's
like
not.
It's like doing a live
like-
action Dragon Ball Z, bro. You can't
it's,
do it.
It's too good.
It's not going to do it justice, bro.
Yeah, you can't. You just can't
so
do it.
Well,
fucking
that's
great,
Superman,
bro.
I think, because there's human elements to it. Dragon
Yeah,
Ball Z,
yeah.
it gets very, like,
I'm gonna blow up the
I mean,
planet.
yeah.
I'm gonna blow up the whole. I just blew
True.
a crater in the side of
Yeah.
the world. So
Because there are cool like iterations of Superman outside of the comics. Like there's a
Yeah.
TV
Yeah.
show. Oh, I forgot.
Smallville.
Smallville
I
is
actually
pretty good.
okay. Smallville
I never
was
watched really good.
Did you guys have you seen?
I
like,
never watched it.
Smallville is actually really good.
I don't know.
The
It felt
acting is
girly,
good, and
but I never watched. it.
And the Superman movie that came out
Man of
in
Steel.
2006. It was like
I think it was
Brandon
just Superman
Root.
Returns.
Superman Returns. It was actually pretty good, except for Lex Luthor being ass.
Yeah.
'Cause
Lex
it-
Luthor
it-
being ass? Is that what you
He
said?
was terrible.
Was
Was
it
it, was it
terrible?
Kevin Spacey?
It was
Like,
Kevin Spacey. It was a bald Kevin
the man who
Spacey.
shall not be
Touching
named
on-
because
Oh, Lord.
he was touching little boys.
Damn,
It was a
man.
bald
And I really
Kevin
liked him. I really liked him as
I
an
know.
actor.
Damn.
But shit, yeah, I don't know, man. They always just make him too about like. I don't
just
know,
in a
like
weird-
justice.
I never
and, like,
watched
it's
enough
you can
Superman
never relate
movies.
to him.
Really?
He
He
never
seems like a fun
interested me.
character.
Did you guys
Yeah.
like Hulk movies? Dude, I personally
I didn't like the
love.
first
Yeah,
ones.
bro.
The
I
Edward
love
Norton
there's
ones.
The first one, the one that came in like the early
2003.
2000s,
I
that
love
was
that
my
one.
shit,
Dude,
bro.
have you seen that, Michael? I feel like you'd appreciate
That
it.
was
Which
great.
Hulk movie?
The 2003 one.
Is that the one where he was like really light green and he
Yes,
was
he
like
was
dumping
really
around the
bright.
desert, destroying tanks and
You
shit?
didn't like it?
Yeah,
Oh, it was awesome, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, that's what I was
Running
saying.
around the
Awesome.
desert,
I love that
destroying
one.
tanks is pretty much
And
what
you
he
know,
did.
you know why I thought you'd like it is because like in the movie, Jordan, I don't know if you remember this. Omar, you've seen it, right?
It's been a very long
the comic
time. I don't
panels.
remember
Yeah, they would
much
use
at all.
comic book panels
Yeah. That shit
in
was
the
tight.
in the movie, and I was
Yeah.
like, I haven't seen movies do that before.
Yeah.
Like
to introduce a new scene.
I had a lot of good
they would-
ideas.
Yeah, they would do it for transitions, and they would do
Yeah.
it during the movie. So
Yeah.
like, it was just an interesting way of watching. It felt like you were like,
It was
felt like
the
it was a
closest to
comic.
watching a real
Yeah.
comic.
It
yeah.
just
Yeah,
had-
it was like a real comic.
It just had awful CGI.
awful to
Yeah,
but-
awful
It was a fun
CGI.
movie.
Liv
What can you
Tyler.
do?
Tyler was looking
I wonder
nice
why
now.
they never
Yeah.
kept that like transition idea or whatever to do another.
I think
thing.
it's a
They keep it for
stylistic
the
thing.
intro, but
Yeah, it was
it's
a
a
style- it was a
stylistic
style
thing.
thing.
You know, it varies by director.
I feel like something else has done it before. but
It's
I
been
can't-
done
They
before.
always
But
do in the
definitely
beginning.
after. Definitely after. But
yeah.
yeah.
It'll always be like
I just
Marvel
think it was
and, like flipping the
it was-
comic book pages.
it was pretty prominent in this movie. I
Yeah.
just can't
Yeah.
remember any others that might have done
Yeah.
it.
I
Yeah.
feel like I've seen it, but it had to be taken from the Hulk.
It was just another one of those weird like the character is just not very relatable. Not necessarily
yeah.
relatable because I'm not gonna relate to Superman or like the Hulk, but it's
He's just a very kiddie character.
the Hulk.
Yeah, the Hulk is like for kids. Like he just goes
Yeah.
around and like throws shit around,
Yeah.
and then that's all he does.
So
Yeah.
getting back onto the topic of
Jumping around, just, holy smash.
getting back into the topic of death, like we were talking about with Michael.
Oh yeah,
I think
back here.
Michael, we're right back here.
Full circle. Full
And I
circle.
think Michael was the first person I'd ever met in my life that just didn't believe in God. And I
Yeah,
think
that's
you,
true.
I think you were that way since like fourth grade, fifth grade. I mean, it was probably earlier before I even knew you. When
Yeah.
like because I know your family was Christian, right?
Yeah.
Especially your mom's family.
Yeah.
And when did you really stop like believing in God?
Damn, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Because I mean, honestly, like it would come and go when I was younger.
When did you really question it? Like what age did you be like?
Oh, bro, when I was like 10, I don't know, like 10 years old. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, that don't sound right. You know, like
I feel
Something's
you.
wrong here.
yeah, something don't sound right here. Like
Every
you telling me
Sunday,
if I
I gotta
pray,
do this?
yeah, and not even just that. It was just like I'm gonna pray for something I don't get it. What's going on here?
Yeah.
What's going on over there? Bro?
Yeah, who am I really talking to?
Yeah, who am I really
What's
talking
happening?
to, bro? So it was just like kind of like little stuff like that. That was just like, you know, I think everyone has that question at some point in their
Yeah,
life.
everybody.
For me, it was
everybody
sport.
has to.
If you're real, where are you at? Like, why don't I see you? So yeah, it was like super early that I started to think that, and then at the same time, like my grandparents would have me go to like church camp during the summers a lot of
Oh my
times.
God.
Yeah, and I mean it was
Wow.
it was bad and fun at the same time because it's like racism. It's like out in the country in Texas, so it's like you deal with that. It's
Yeah.
annoying, of course.
Yeah.
Country, white kids. Like,
I feel like there'd be some fun times too.
No, it was real fun times
Going,
too,
like
though.
hiking and shit.
Yeah, it was
Most
fun.
kids are
Sounds
probably just innocent and just
Yeah,
having
making
a good time with anybody.
making s'mores, talking about Jesus.
Yeah, exactly.
Talking about Jesus.
So yeah, exactly.
What's your favorite
Literally,
Bible
Good old Jesus.
So I mean,
Doesn't
like,
sound
it's
bad,
not
bro.
bad. It's not bad. It's a cult. It's a fucking cult.
Yeah.
Indoctrinating to a cult.
But they take you to swim, and that's
They had a cool rope swing on the lake.
Take you to the watering hole and
Yeah,
it's
bro,
so bad.
legit. That's literally what it was. And then we get out of the water and we all pray before we go home. And it's like
They really did that.
we ate 3 square meals a day. You could get
Oh, man.
thirds, second. You can get thirds, fourths, fifths, sixths. You can eat as much as you want.
Dude, send me there now. That
Yeah,
sounds
like
fucking
it was
great.
lit. It was heaven, honestly. Like it was fucking great.
It was heaven.
Yeah, but you had to go to
Pun
church
intended.
every night, like of like
Yep.
the 2 weeks that you're there. Yeah, you have church every night. It was whatever, you know, chilling. Whatever.
Were those kids
Who cares?
getting frisky with each other?
Yeah, yeah. There's
Yeah?
some shit
They were
going on in
finding
there.
ways?
There's some shit going on. You get your, you know, you like some kisses from some
Wait, how
girls. in
old were
there.
y'all?
So the age range was like from 6 to like 15.
Oh, so
yeah,
you
they
know
were
kids were getting it on.
were
Oh yeah,
freaking
kids
at
are
15.
fucking over there, bro. But I was like young at that age. Like I think the oldest I was when I went there, I was like 13.
Yeah.
And at that point, I was like, I did not believe in God.
You
Now
for
I know
sure.
So, like,
At
I
13,
was, like,
you're
Making
already
stuff up while you're
yeah,
praying.
I was being a
Y'all
bad
are praying. You have
fucking
your
kid.
you have your fingers like this. the whole
Yeah, I was like, this is all bullshit.
have your fingers crossed while you're praying.
But yeah, I remember like this is like a story of how it like came and went, right? So I remember like 7th grade, I got in like a lot of trouble for skipping a lot of school. I managed to get away with it because my grades were so good that the school really didn't notice. I had perfect scores on all my tax tests, so the school didn't even want to expel me after they found out how many days I got that I skipped, right?
What a fucking guy.
My parents forced me to go like live on a farm with my grandparents.
I remember that.
So while I was out there, I went to that summer, went to the summer camp and was like just coming off of, man, this shit ain't real. I hate all these people. This is whack. And then I was having a great time. I was having a blast because I was eating good. There was girls there. I was like one of few black kids there. So it's like, you have a lot of friends. You get to easily make a lot of friends there.
Yeah.
So I was having a good time. And I remember it was like one of the last days. They have like a big, giant bonfire. Everyone sits around the bonfire and sings like a cult. It's crazy. Literally, we're sitting around this bonfire. And
Jesus is our friend.
yeah, Jesus is our friend. We're gonna go to heaven. And we're looking at this giant bonfire, which is like past your ceiling, how tall it is. Like the fire is immense.
Pretty cool.
And I'm sitting there like in a trance because we're all singing. It's so nice. I have like some girl next to me, and like I had friends there, whatever. It was great.
Yeah.
I'm like looking at this fire, and it's like the fire's jumping. And as everyone's singing, the louder everyone gets, the fire's going higher. But that's just my mind. Like, I'm a young stupid kid, and I'm thinking like, bro, this looks like
God.
This
We
looks
about
like
to
some
start floating.
Yeah, like it was crazy because music does that to people. You feel like connected to everyone that's around you. So you get like that trance like state that people get into where it's just like I'm really like one with the Lord. Fucking crazy. So it was like insane. Like I was really like thinking it. And I remember I was thinking to myself, like, every time we get loud, the fire will go up. And it was like, poof, poof. And it did it like the first like 3 times. And I'm like, bro, that's like, it's actually doing something. Like, it's somebody up there, man. Then I started to notice, like, no. It's
the wind.
I'm just, it's the wind. And then, I was literally just thinking to myself, like 5 minutes after I was feeling just like, yeah, this is awesome. I was just like, oh, it all kind of went away. And I was like, no. You're tripping, bro. Like, there's literally nothing going on, and y'all are all insane. And that was like the moment it clicked. That was the moment it clicked for me, where I was just like, nah, like this is good for them for feeling like that all the time, but this is insane.
Yeah, I feel that way. It's a nice if you're not going overboard and like you're going to fucking hell if you're fucking guys like it's not so bad. It teaches you good lessons and it teaches you good morals. And
the Bible's a great book. Everyone should read it.
Everyone should.
If you want to read, if you want to read a good book, read the Bible.
Old Testament Bible.
Some solid
they get down
Old
and dirty.
Testament Jesus
in
was
that bitch,
going
bro.
crazy.
Yeah, dads killing their kids
All right,
and
so
shit like that.
Yeah.
We were talking about, you were talking about how you were sent away. You see this fire, and how did that lead to you eventually getting sent away? Were you sent away after or before? It was after church camp.
No, I got sent away before the church camp.
Before the church camp.
So this church camp was making me feel like, man, life is great.
Are you feeling real brainwashed?
is
Like
real.
you think they're brainwashing those kids in there?
Oh yeah,
because
big
they don't
time.
know shit.
Big time. And I mean, they're not brainwashing them maliciously.
Yeah.
I mean, like I didn't get touched or nothing.
They're enticing them with a good time.
No one I knew got touched. So like,
Nice.
That's cool. That's good.
he's like, nice.
yeah, it's very
They're,
cool.
they're not touching
That's a
kids.
solid summer.
Yeah.
That should be the standard.
Didn't get my little boy butt touched. So I think it was a pretty nice place. Church camp's considering. But yeah, so it was like they're definitely indoctrinating people into the cult of Christianity, but they're doing it because they truly believe it's the right thing, and like they're trying to get people to heaven because
That's what they believe.
that's what they believe.
It's the right thing to do.
So it's all good, bro. Like I'm not going to be mad at anybody who wants to go out of their way to try to help somebody because they think like, hey, bro, we're all going to die. Like if you want to have a good place to go to after you die, there's this place called heaven, and you don't have to worry about anything on earth because once you go there, everything's gonna be cool, bro. You're gonna be in heaven. So like all the shit going on down here is whatever. So it's like
It's whatever.
So like I feel like you should feel like that about death, regardless. Whether or not you believe in heaven or like I think you need to have that idea of like once you're gone, all this shit on earth is gone, and you need to be prepared for that.
Yeah.
And also just like remember that you have to enjoy shit right now because once you're gone, it's gone. There's most likely not going to be anything. It's just going to be lights out.
That's what I
black
think,
screen.
Because it just seems like such a man-made idea that like, we go there and like we're all floating ghosts and we get to like have our houses and do whatever we want.
And that'd be cool.
Come on, you think God really looks
kinda
like
lit.
us? Dude?
Yeah.
You think God looks anything like this?
Wait, so-
like,
All right, so we're gonna get deep in the shit now, boys.
Yeah.
So What do you think about?
Sorry, let me turn this shit off, bro.
Yeah, please do that. You're being
fuck,
so
Michael?
rude, bro.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I have a girlfriend now, guys. I'm sorry.
Oh,
do?
God.
We'll get to that later.
Well, okay.
We know how that goes.
Okay.
There we go.
So,
Yeah, it's good.
all right, what would you think about this? Say in the future, there's a movie about it right now, but I think the movie did a shitty job of discussing this, like the subject. What if you could download your consciousness as you know it now, all your memories and thoughts
Oof.
that you
I'm
have,
about to say I know the movie.
and you can basically download that either like into like a robot and then live as that robot, or just download it into like a mega network. But either way, like you're still like living, like basically you live forever. Your consciousness always exists. If there's a way to do it, and say like at this point, say we're all in our like 80s, and this technology has now been perfected, where people are just living forever now, like on this, either like on a motherboard or as robots. Would you do this, or would you die naturally? You can live forever with this. Your brain, all your memories, all your thoughts, you can live forever.
No financial issues. Like let's say in a perfect world, that
None that I
everything
can
just
imagine.
going.
Let's say it's like you guys have seen The Matrix, right?
Yeah.
Everybody here. Omar, you haven't seen The Matrix?
Yeah, I'm an asshole.
Am I like in a tube and my body is alive?
Let's say that.
Okay.
I guess because that seems it's way harder to realize like your consciousness actually being downloaded. You know what I mean?
Because
like,
if that
biologically.
happens, then you're basically dead, and
Yeah.
you have a version of yourself that gets to live. So that's
Exactly.
not technically you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's say you can blue pill it, and
Okay.
they put you. They knowingly, they're like, all right, you're pretty close to dying, but we can keep you alive forever if we put you in this pod, and you'll be dreaming, and you're in this like synced, almost like a Sims world, like a virtual world, and you're just hanging out with all your friends, and you're hooking up with chicks and doing whatever you want.
Dude, I'd do that.
I might take that blue pill.
Yeah.
I'm about to say I'll do that.
Might
I
take
wouldn't
that
want
blue
to be
pill.
like
I'm
that.
all game.
Almost
Especially
like
at that age.
There's a show called Futurama, and I mean,
Yeah.
you guys obviously
Walking
know
around
the show.
Nixon's head.
They do that. They have an episode. I don't know if you guys remember where they send people like when they get to like I think 150.
Oh yeah.
Because like
Farnsworth,
in the
those-
future, people live to like I think average like 165, 170. So once you get to like 150, they like pick you up and they take you to this like
Yeah.
death planet, quote unquote. And at the death planet, they like basically put you in a Matrix pod and they hook you up, and you're spending the rest of your life like in a virtual reality type deal.
That's kind of lit. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, and like you just like relive your memories, or you live with your husband or wife, and you just hang out
It's a
there.
blissful ignorance of that.
So-
It's all your like mine, like whatever you want to
Yeah.
make. That sounds like a
And
sounds
no
like a
body pain.
Sweet deal.
So
Like,
would
you don't
guys
feel
be,
like you're getting
would
older.
you guys be cool with that?
Honestly, bro, I think I would be.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
shit, we might be in it right now, dog.
I know.
Very true.
Wait, so do
That's
you
what they
think?
say, but never
Do you
know.
think knowing you're in there will disturb you? Like, say if going from real life going into this, and it feels like so real. It feels like nothing different from real life, but you know that it's not real life.
It would probably
be.
be pretty
Oh.
disturbing, but I think you
You
get
think-
used to it.
Yeah.
I
think
thought
you
I
get
was
used to it.
unknowing in this situation.
And eventually, you might
know.
want to get out
Yeah.
and see like what's going on, but at the same time,
I don't give a fuck.
if you know that like once I get out of here, I'm gonna be dead, then
Yeah.
I think you should just live,
Yeah.
go there and live till you're ready to just die, and then you hit the off switch, I guess, if
Yeah.
you can, if that's an option.
if
you
I
know?
could communicate the fact that like, all right,
all right,
done with
I'm
this.
done, boys.
It's been like
Yeah.
50
Yeah.
years.
It's been a
That's
good
enough.
100 extra years.
All right, so
I'm not having fun anymore.
Between-
I hate this bitch.
between like 1900 to now, right? We've had like the greatest technological like leaps,
Yeah.
like we've seen. I think
Yeah.
in
Ever.
ever,
Yeah.
yeah, right? Because I mean, now we have like the unlimited flow of information through the internet.
Yeah.
You can like buy and trade companies on your phone, shit like that. Like it's
Yeah.
we're on the next level. You know what I mean? What do you think we'll see in the next? It's 2020, yeah. So what do you think we'll see in the next 80 years? Like, do
80?
you think? Because I've heard that the rate of technology advancing has slowed down just because so much has already been
Yeah.
found out, and like the next problems are so complex that they either can't be solved yet or they're not even there. So what do you think we'll see as the next big thing?
Bro, I think honestly, the way shit's going right now, this shit's gonna be like idiocracy, and people are just gonna get.
Dumber and dumber.
Yeah.
It's
I
gonna
think the
be
same thing.
over.
Because we have
It's gonna
technology
be like
to do
either
everything
you're
for
really
us.
really smart or you're really stupid.
Yeah.
And you're doing like the dumb manual labor, and everyone else is building robots.
Honestly, I mean
to keep
that's the
move
thing that the
Yeah.
gap
forward.
continues to get wider no matter what happens. You
Yeah.
know? I mean, honestly, I think. Well, no, honestly, I think in America is one of the few places that it's actually like at a steady rate.
You think so?
And yeah, it's like like there's the disparity in other parts of the world is definitely much worse than America.
Yeah, I've
You
heard
know?
that.
Yeah,
like financial disparity is definitely much worse.
Yeah, there's no middle
India,
class in a lot
things
of
like
places.
that.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
either
yeah.
you're either like upper class or you're just lower class. Like
Yeah.
I had a friend who he went to Vietnam and then he like did the foreign exchange at the airport to get his money, and then
Oh,
by
yeah.
the time he left, he still had some Vietnamese money. He wanted to exchange it. The Vietnamese money was worth significantly less this time around.
Wow.
Just because their currency isn't stable.
It's plummeting.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there's nothing you can do. So, I mean, what was I talking about? Something.
I'm sorry, I interrupted
I
you.
think we're
dude.
talking about,
About in 80 years, what do you think you're gonna see?
Oh, yeah,
that
80
part.
80 years. Is that
Yeah,
what?
gap
What's
is
like
growing.
the next big thing? Basically, is what I was saying.
Jesus. Oh yeah, and I was gonna say like probably like a war or something, dude. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
weapons.
probably. I
You were-
mean,
yeah,
Fucking
you were saying
robot
that.
soldiers, dude.
Yeah, like idiocracy. That's what you were saying.
yeah, like it might be like idiocracy, just because like we might have a war, something, right? And we might just blow the shit out of each other, and then everyone's gonna be so dumb. They're probably, like, God forbid if countries started to attack like the intelligent people, right? Of the country.
shit.
Yeah.
And they're killing off scientists. They're killing off like
People we
like
actually need.
mathematicians, like doctors, like people that really understand how the fucking planet works. And like and they kill off everybody like that. And then everyone else who just sits on their phone all day and like doesn't really do anything, doesn't like someone like me, like who I'm an artist and like I don't really learn any of that other shit. We're gonna be screwed. Like we're gonna be fucking screwed, bro.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's worrying because if something like that happened, we'd be done.
It's bad, bro.
I don't think that would affect us though, because
You don't think so?
I think we're reaching a war for sure due to overpopulation, like for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it'd definitely be the poor countries that suffer the most. Like the only issues we would have is the ties that we have to those countries. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Like,
yeah.
let's say China starts trying to storm like another country that we have like ties with. Like, oh shit, well now we're kind of forced. Either now we're forced to, or now we're forced to be like, all right, China, let them fucking have them. And then now we're like on the offensive. You know what I mean? So I think it's just going to be a bunch of superpowers fighting against each other in the future. And the poor people are just going to be trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always been that though, right?
I think
Yeah.
Omar put it a great way. Have you guys ever heard of the military-industrial complex?
Yeah.
Yeah, that like talks about how the U.S. and like other really, really developed countries make a shitload of money off of war.
Yeah.
Just because of like the defense contracts and just the ramping up of industry with war. So war is profitable in a lot of ways for this country.
Fuck yeah. We sell arms to Saudi Arabia right now. A ton. We
Yeah.
make like billions off of them.
So it could be either that, like what I said, or the exact opposite, where like if we have a war, then all the innovation is going to be boosted because every country has like a reason to want to beat out each other. You know,
Yeah.
It's true.
More
Dude,
resources, less people to feed. Shit, like
Yeah.
if a war does happen, because we never bring the war here, so we never
That's
have
the one
that
thing
many
that
fatalities.
never happens,
hopefully
bro.
we don't.
Yeah.
Thank God.
That's
What if
true,
they
though.
fucking attack Oklahoma?
Dude, yeah. We're in tech, right in the middle. You know, they're gonna get the coast.
But we got
Yeah.
too
They're
many,
gonna get New
we got
York,
too
or they're
many
gonna get
guns here.
like California.
We got too many guns in Texas. No one's gonna
for
come
real.
to Texas. This is the last place.
Who's out there?
Yeah. Who's
out there?
The last fucking place.
Who's out there?
Fucking Chinaman out here. I got my fucking ATT from Star Wars out here.
Controlling it by remote, just looking around.
Just destroying shit.
Yeah, that'd be fucking Confederate flag skin on it. And
Oh yeah, Confederate flags.
on the robot.
Do you guys remember something funny? So Omar, Michael, and myself had PE, physical education, together in high school.
Yeah.
I think it was like freshman year. And we had it the last period of the day, so the 7th period, so right before we'd go home. And something's funny is that I remember we used to be smoking fake weed in the restroom during PE.
In the showers.
Yeah, we would all go into the boys' shower. No homo, of course.
No,
not ass naked.
we all had our
We're-
pants on.
we're
a huge,
fully dressed.
a huge mixed race group of guys like going in there and just like smoking weed, smoking shitty weed sprayed with Ajax probably
Oh,
or
yeah.
fucking
Oh my
Windex
God,
or
yeah.
something. Yeah,
We were
Did no
dying.
thing. Coaches were so oblivious.
yeah.
No, honestly, I think they knew, and I
didn't
think
care.
they just did not give a shit.
Yeah.
I'm smoking right now.
'Cause there's no
I'm
way
going to my
that-
car and smoking right now.
There's no way you couldn't smell that.
Yeah, it had to smell up the entire locker room.
Yeah, like there's no.
and we
way.
did it a lot. Like,
Well, those
not,
coaches were up
not,
to no good.
not a handful of times. It was more than that.
It was like daily, like a question. It was
Yeah.
a question of like, were we not going?
It was like who had some and who's willing to share.
That was the question.
Was I there? Was I in that class?
What
I
year
feel
was
like I don't
it?
remember smoking.
This is
This
freshman.
is freshman year.
Oh, you were.
I remember
you were
doing
de-
it, but I
you
don't
were
remember doing it
definitely
that way.
No, you were definitely there.
I was definitely there.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
were
I
Maybe
feel
I
like
didn't
you were
always
definitely there.
participate. I
Nah,
don't
you
know.
were
maybe,
there.
Maybe didn't
Because I
always
used to
you were
feel very
definitely-
anxious
Omar
about
was
smoking at
providing the weed for the.
the whole time. I have no idea what these fellas are talking about.
I don't recall.
No, but I don't know. I think I used to get scared smoking at school.
Absolutely.
I didn't like the feeling,
As
bro.
you should.
Yeah, you
As
should get
any
scared.
smart kid
Yeah,
would.
shit's
You should get
terrifying.
scared even like after you've done it and you've successfully gotten away with it. You
Yeah.
should still be scared.
Yeah, I'd successfully get. I'm in class, just sitting there, but it's like I would be like, why do people come to school high? Like,
Dude.
this is making the time go by slower. This is
Yeah,
making
every
them
day.
work harder. I don't even want to talk to anybody now. Like now, I just want to sleep.
Omar and Michael, Jordan, you probably remember this guy too. shorter Asian guy, really deep voice. He used to trip on acid and go to school.
Yeah, I think I know what you're
Adrian.
talking about.
Adrian.
Peters.
Jamichael.
No.
Peters.
It was Andrew.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It was Andrew.
I
Yeah,
think so.
Andrew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Goddamn
Isn't
little
that
Peter.
crazy?
yeah, but that's crazy. I
can't imagine
dude.
that,
I
man.
couldn't fucking imagine.
Nah, man. I actually the first time that I took acid, I was at school,
Insane.
In high school.
Hit at school.
but I was in 7th period.
All right.
Oh, okay.
You gotta tell us the story from
You're
the
almost
beginning.
scot-free.
How'd you get this shit?
Oh,
How did it
man.
go down?
How did
had
you
a- I
get
had a
it?
friend-
What was the chain of command?
I had a friend who I can't say his name.
Yeah, don't.
But let's just say he was a swole dude.
Yeah.
He was a swole dude.
Oh, I know the soul,
He was
dude.
a swole dude.
Yeah. Swole, low-key kind of
What are you
homosexual.
doing, man?
Yes, like he'd be on some sus shit.
He had some homoerotic
Yeah.
overtones.
He was a
Very
weird.
handsy. Very handsy guy.
very handsy with other men.
He was a weird guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I remember I had him in a 7th period class, and he said he had some acid that he got from somewhere. I didn't know. I never seen acid at that point. Like, I'd never seen like a real like paper form acid like in square tabs. And so he was like, I'll sell you some. I was like, how much? And he was like, $5. I was like, $5? I was like, this isn't real. So I said, give me one. This is some bullshit. I was like, don't lie to me, bro. Cause like he was notorious for fucking with people.
Oh, absolutely.
He was like super sarcastic, just weird. He was a weird guy. You couldn't really trust what he was saying.
oh, for
So
sure.
yeah, so I was like, dude, this is a lie, but I'll take it. I'll humor you, bro. So I took it, and this was like, I sat through the whole class. Class for like 45 minutes or something back then. So it's like,
It was like 50.
yeah, something like that. So I took it
Yeah.
like 20 minutes in the class or something, and I'm sitting there. 30 minutes go by. I don't feel anything. Then I'm looking at him. I'm like pretty mad. I'm like, bro, this is bullshit. Like you gave me some fake LSD. Like this is whack. Give me another one. So so I forced him to give me another one. He's like, dude, it's real. Just wait. I'm like, no, give me another one.
real,
This
just
is
wait.
some bullshit.
I'm
And
almost
real-
going home. I need
and
one
I
now.
was like interrogating this swole ass dude. Like I was gonna beat his ass or something. I don't know how that even worked.
Caught him by the back of the
Yeah.
neck.
So he gave you two.
Yeah, so he gave me another one for free. He was like, "Here you go,"
Fucking
and he was
nice.
like, "You don't believe me? Just take it, fine." So I took it. So I'm riding in the bus. It tastes like shit. Sitting because it's like not that real LSD. It's to whatever people
The
had going.
RC, whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
what do
something
you
like
call it?
that.
Something chemicals.
Yeah, so I was sitting in the bus, like not feeling anything, riding my whole way home, just mad as hell because I just took 2 tabs of fake acid, bro. What did I just put into my body? I was so pissed off. So like I get home, I roll up a blunt of some fake weed. And I go to my backyard like I normally do because I normally would go home, smoke a little bit of weed, and then I'd do homework for like 3 hours straight. So like I'd sit down, I sat down to smoke my blunt. I get up, and I remember I look at a tree, and like I noticed it like kind of waves a little bit, and I'm like, that's weird. What is that? And so I ignore it though. I kind of ignore it. I'm just like, whatever. I'm just super high, So I walk inside, and then I see the broom propped onto the wall. As soon as I walk inside, that's the first thing I lock eyes on is a broom. And this broom is like a snake, bro. Like this thing is squiggling. I'm like, bro, what the hell is that? And it's kind of far. And I think like the further things get from you when you're tripping on something like that, like the more distorted it becomes. So it was like really distorted. So I was like really feeling like, oh man, this is crazy. I'm experiencing something I haven't really experienced before.
Yeah.
So I was getting a little bit scared, but at the same time, I had smoked a lot of weed at that point. I drank as a kid. I took like a flip candy one time, which is ecstasy and LSD together. And I did that before this point. And,
wow.
But that didn't make me trip. Like really, it made me just feel super good and see like kind of like weird goofy
Those just
shit.
cancel out, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
'cause
yeah,
The
it
upper
kind of.
just like kind of cancels out the acid.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say canceled out. Like I still felt good, but it was like I didn't get like hallucinations.
Nah,
as
the
much.
ecstasy
Nothing
was going
visual.
crazy.
Yeah, exactly. But I was feeling like, woo,
Yeah,
this
the
is
ecstasy
lit.
was going on.
Woo,
Yeah.
trying to dance.
Yeah, But yeah, so I remember I went to my room. I played some GTA 5. I get on playing GTA 5, start murking people in GTA. I'm like,
Excellent
bro,
choice.
this is insane. Like, I'm like killing people, and I'm not feeling bad about it. What's wrong with me?
Puts it in the first person
Yeah,
mode.
yeah. And so I'm riding around in the car. I did go in first person mode for a second, and it scared the shit out of me. I instantly went back. I was nah, I'm not doing that. But then I kept playing, and I was like getting chased from the cops, and I was like feeling like I was so into it, bro. Like I was like, bro, I just got away killing like 40 people, bro. And like I'm like freaking out. I got like 4 stars. I'm driving. I'm like, dude, I just killed all these people. Oh my god. And I'm like speeding down the highway, and I guess I didn't notice that my car was on fire, right?
Yeah.
And so like I'm driving, like I feel like I'm in the game because I'm tripping so hard. Like I feel like I'm here. And the car explodes out of nowhere. And I scream. I'm like, ah! Bro, like, I thought it was game over. Bro. I thought it was the end of my life.
Cops are busting into the door. We know what you
That's
did.
hilarious.
The flames engulf the car, and I feel like I'm inside the car being engulfed in flames. And I look at the screen, I'm like, it says wasted. I'm like, bro, holy shit. That was insane.
Damn.
And I don't really remember much else about the time. It was just like, I was probably just sitting down watching cartoons and just trying not to freak out the entire time after that. But yeah, it was pretty crazy, like being put into that world unknowingly.
Yeah.
That
Especially
shit,
at that age, yeah.
bro. Yeah, I was like, what year did I say this was? This is like junior year or
16,
something?
Junior year, man.
Oh, wait, no.
Yeah, so,
2014.
yeah.
It's like 2013. 2013.
14.
It was
2013.
it was
shit.
probably 2014. I think it was
the
2014.
second half of that year.
So I was
We were seniors.
17.
We were seniors in 2014.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, the
go
later-
later.
no,
the later
yeah,
half.
it was
Yeah,
that-
the second
yeah.
part of
Yeah.
it.
So I was like, 17 going on 18. But yeah, so fried my brain, bro. Shit was
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, that shit's a lot to handle.
But I
As a
mean,
kid.
yeah, I did it a few more times in high school too, though. Like senior year, I think
Yeah.
I did it like 5 more times. But I knew people who were like doing that shit like
In class.
Yeah, every week.
not even that, like like
pretty
a
much
few
every day.
times a week, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Going to Stereo Live
and I
tonight,
was scared
bro.
of frying my brain when I
Yeah.
did it. So like,
What
I
do
can
you-
only imagine.
What do you think doing like at least like Molly or like acid like that?
Molly's
like
bad.
Pretty. I know Molly will fuck you up if you do it pretty
It's like burn
frequently.
a hole in your
Yeah.
brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What-
Molly's
but
bad,
LSD
bro.
doesn't have any like adverse physical effects.
I think
right?
it like drains a fluid in your spine.
It does.
that you
Something like
need.
that.
And if you don't give yourself time to like wait, like replenish that spinal fluid, it can be really bad for your back in the future.
Yeah.
So you'll be an old man with a fucked up back because you
and
don't
then
let
you crack your back and you start tripping.
Not that's supposedly a side effect though.
I've heard that. Like
shit.
people like
Crack it every
their
time.
back,
Yeah.
and they,
Yeah.
have, they have an acid flashback.
Yeah, ooh.
Acid
You crack your
flashback.
back and just
You're
you
in,
start
you're in a
tripping
business
balls.
meeting. You're in a business meeting at the front, and you're like, "Pardon me, y'all," and it's just like.
I've got to go to the restroom.
Everyone's like Johnson,
Splash
and
water
he's
in your
just like,
face.
woo, woo, woo. You're just like running out the room.
Start taking off your clothes, doing
Dude,
weird
that
shit.
would suck.
Slap
that
the
would
person
suck.
next to you.
So something I wanted to ask you was, what do you feel as far as like other artists or shows or comedians or has inspired your art, Michael?
Damn.
Like pretty heavily.
That's a good question, man.
Yeah, I feel like one thing, for instance, that I think we both really liked when we were younger is the Chappelle Show.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like we were both really into that,
Definitely.
and I feel like that really inspires. I mean, our sense of humor as like a group.
For like comedy inspiration, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for at least.
I would say like it's not. It's I can't say like it's a visual artist. It's a comedian. It's a rapper, a
Yeah.
musician. I can't really say that because I think every well done art form to me, I've always been able to really appreciate it. You know, like appreciate good music, appreciate good visual art, appreciate like film and stuff like that. Like that's always been something that I've loved.
Yeah.
To just experience it, just to get the different messages that people are sending in different ways that they're putting them out. I could say like Mac Miller, of course. I'm sure a lot of y'all like Mac Miller a
R.I.P.
lot. I wrote like a super long essay my first year of college on him, like on watching movies with the sound off, just because like that was like one of the most influential albums to me. Like I could say like Kanye is a huge influence to me, you know, like but
For sure.
a certain Kanye, you know,
Yeah.
He's trailed off.
a
He's
certain
gone off the
Kanye.
beaten path.
Yeah, but you know, like I just appreciate like the artistic genius of people, and I think it should be a goal for someone to not reach the artistic genius, but some sort of genius in some area. Like that should be everyone's goal, you know, just to get something to where you can attain that, and that can almost make everyone feel content to some point, you know, to some degree. Unless you're like a crazy person, like a lot of geniuses are, and you want to just keep going, ascending beyond that, you know.
Yeah.
But I think it's good to like at least have that feeling like one time in life where you can like, I really created something and this shit is good. Like I know I did a good job on this. Like that's the feeling. So any artist that can make me feel like they did that is an inspiration to me. Yeah. Any
like
artist in any field.
So would you say something like I was having a conversation with one of my other friends earlier about this. It's like, have you seen the documentary The Last Dance about Michael Jordan?
No, I haven't.
You should check it out because to me, I think it can apply to sports fans or non-sports
Yeah.
fans. It's just so interesting to see kind of what you touched on earlier. Someone who is the greatest, pretty much the greatest ever at something.
Yeah.
And see like their mindset and how they think about things and how often they really do the thing that they're great at. You know, it's so interesting to see someone who's like so obsessed and
Yeah.
what makes them great. And there's an art I don't know if you felt this way, Jordan. I mean, you saw it. To me, it was like an art of the way he
like
played,
lived his life.
He lived his life and the way he played the game.
Yeah.
It was very, very.
It was also interesting seeing him go to play baseball. And him trying to get
dude,
good
it's
at
like
that.
a soap opera.
That shit was
He
insane.
was just getting very frustrated, or like
He was getting
super
frustrated,
lot of
but he was
stuff
getting
happened.
better. Like he was
Yeah.
like at the end when he stopped playing, he was getting better, and like people were like, "Yeah, we see like the potential in it." But also he was going like he was practicing so much to
He's a
get to a
maniac,
certain
bro.
level.
Yeah.
It's
Then he
crazy.
came back to basketball, and his dad died, and it's just like
Yeah.
his dad didn't die. His dad got murdered.
Yeah, that shit was
Which is
crazy.
a whole nother
That's how
thing
his dad-
completely.
that's sad.
Yeah, you
That
guys
shit
should
was crazy.
watch it. It's very artful to me. I don't know why. I mean, it's about basketball, but there's something to it that's just super artful.
Bro, I have a huge Michael Jordan poster in my room, honestly, bro. Huge. Like,
you should watch
I think
it,
he's
though.
inspiring to anybody, whether you're a basketball
I
fan
don't even
or
like
not.
basketball like that. I don't even like. I just respect him as a person, like the ability to have that drive.
Absolutely, man.
Like,
He's built.
super headstrong guy. Boosted up all the people around him. Is what I hear.
real.
Because a lot of people
Yeah.
like didn't have his same mindset and like weren't on the same kind of thing he was. So it's crazy that he like brought that out of them in the way he did. You know, because a lot of
it's
people
genius.
didn't appreciate it for him.
a
I
different
didn't
form.
appreciate that like at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
But I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I've seen a lot of clips.
Always
Shout out to
making
Instagram and
making
stuff
deep
like that.
comments on it, even though he hasn't seen it.
YouTube.
But I can imagine. I can imagine.
Yeah, I
it's
can
about
imagine.
what I just
And
I've
be happy you
seen
played
several
basketball,
minutes.
bro.
Yeah.
If he was like a regular person, like on the street, bro, he'd be insane.
Oh,
he'd be
yeah.
a crazy fucking person.
Yeah.
Just
Imagine
like
he
a
went to
manager of
war.
like a normal store.
Yeah. Imagine he's like a
Making
shoe
people
salesman.
cry.
Like a shoe salesman.
Like a shoe
Like,
salesman.
he
He was
didn't
a
wanna buy-
shoe
He didn't want
salesman?
to buy this fucking shoe. Like this guy's gonna lose his
Sit down,
mind.
try it on. Try it on. Put it on. You're not leaving the store till you try it on. Like,
Bro, Michael was out there yelling at customers today. He's going fucking crazy.
and they bought everything, dude. They bought our most expensive wine.
You know what's crazy is like everybody knows by now. Kanye West got that Gap deal, like multi-billion-dollar Gap deal. I think he like
Did you say multi-billion?
Yeah, it's multi-billion.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
unless I'm mistaken.
It's like
All I know is he has. I think they gave him
What?
stock in the company or something like that too. So it's a pretty decent amount of money that he's gonna make off of this. And it's crazy thing is like if you listen to Kanye's music, specifically his first album, he talks about how he used to work at the Gap, and like how he used to bullshit and like how he got caught stealing there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's crazy thing is now is they're selling his clothes that he designed. That's to me that's the most insane thing ever. Like if you
Probably
think
because
about
of
it,
that
like
reference, bro. Probably because he used to work there, and they're like, "Well, here's an opportunity." You know what I mean?
right?
Welcome back, Kanye.
Yeah, I wonder why the hell he chose Gap and why they chose him. That's a strange
Yeah.
idea. Yeah,
oh,
that's weird.
100 million.
It was 100 million. That's still
that's
but
a
it's
lot.
Joe Rogan
still-
level, dude.
But
That's
it says,
good.
it says
Joe
he's
Rogan
now
level.
worth $5 billion
Yeah.
after the deal.
After he was just
He's worth
bankrupt.
$5 billion.
Yeah.
After he was
He's
just
worth $5
bankrupt like a couple years ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But I mean, you
and
know,
the guy turned to church and was like, "I'm writing everything off in taxes. I'm selling a shit ton of merch.
you know who
I'm
else is
gonna
a
tour
fucking
around."
genius of the rap game? Jay-Z. This
Yeah.
guy's doing it right.
alcohol game,
he
dude.
keeps quiet. He
The
fucking
alcohol
makes
game.
investments in art, alcohol. You know, he owns dispensaries all across the country.
Yep.
Smart
Like
guy, man.
he just super
weed dispensaries?
diversified.
Yeah,
Yeah,
weed dispensaries.
he's
Damn.
super fake weed.
Fake weed.
Nah,
it
we're just
doesn't
joking.
exist. The real
Nah,
stuff.
Jay Z can sell real weed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a real weed.
Jay-Z.
He's sold much harder stuff, bro.
For real.
He's gonna be pissed.
Isn't that
if we
crazy
say
though?
that.
He went
He's gonna call us angry.
Hopefully.
This dude
that means
went-
we made it.
from like selling crack to like people trying to kill him and shit like that to being, I think, was he the first black billionaire or one of the first black billionaires?
First
Something like that.
rapper billionaire.
First rapper billionaire.
Yeah,
First rapper billionaire.
Yeah.
Which is still crazy. Being a billionaire in general is
Being-
crazy.
Having $1 million is just crazy. Now
It might
having
not have been him.
1,000 of those. Oh my
Bro,
god.
coming from Bed-Stuy and
You think it was Dr. Dre?
I think it was Dre.
Maybe.
It might have been Dre. But coming from Bed-Stuy and becoming a billionaire, imagine
Wild.
how that must feel.
That's crazy.
Well, real
He's
quick,
seen
it actually was
more-
Dre, it was the beats.
It was with the beats. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So Dre was probably the first.
Dre was first.
Yeah.
But
Either
Jay-Z
way,
was
it's
first.
crazy
I
story.
mean, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, I was just saying, like, imagine, like, he's seen poorer living conditions than any of us have seen.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, he's experienced them, and now it's, like, at a living condition that none of us will ever see. Like,
I know.
yeah, like, we
That's
have,
just
like,
wild.
a less than a 0.1%
Dude,
chance.
he
of
went
ever
from
seeing
like
that.
one extreme to the other.
Yeah.
I mean, I wonder, dude, he's probably seen people get killed. He's probably killed people. You know what I mean?
Who knows?
Like, I'm sure Jay-Z's seen someone get killed in front of him.
Oh,
And I
for
bet
sure.
that taught him things. Maybe
Oh,
not
absolutely.
the killing thing. You know,
It's,
you can do without
it's all
that,
the
but
same shit. It's
Oh,
all
yeah.
it's all the same business. To be honest with you. And
if you have that
business-
same like motivation,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
for
yeah.
anything, you can translate it to something else. It depends on the thing.
Yeah.
and you surround yourself with the right people, you'll
Yeah.
get the money. It's
The,
just-
the money will come.
The
if
money
you
will
do the right
come.
thing.
It's just keeping it. I think Drake has a line. He's like, "The first million is hard to make, but after that, they get easy." And I was like, "Damn,
Damn,
I'm poor,
that's-
nigga.
Well, give me one, bro. Please.
Can I have my,
Right.
can I have my first million?"
Hey, Drake,
mind,
donate
dude?
They have
one
my
to our
small loan.
podcast, bro.
My small loan of $1 million. I'm
small loan of $1 million. I love a small loan of
$1 million.
fucking 10,000.
gonna need that.
I'm gonna need
So-
that.
Michael, can I ask you something? Do you
Yeah.
think that this country is like super racist? Because I feel like this country is super racist in a lot of different ways
Man.
to all different kinds of people.
And it sounds like you've had your fair share of racists.
See, yeah. And you know,
because a lot of people in Houston don't. Really
and
suffer
sometimes
from that
it's
because so
subtle, and then
diverse.
sometimes it's not subtle.
Yeah.
bro, yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say the whole country. Like, this country is just a racist country because
Yeah,
I
you
mean
can't
it's
group-
like literally the least racist country technically.
Yeah.
If you think about how all the different people that actually get to come here and like get to move here, like
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, people get killed
it's
in other
kind of the
countries for
least
different
racist
things.
country. But at the same time, just because of the fact that there's so many different races here, it stimulates that like that fight between different cultures. Like it's gonna happen one way or another because people are gonna find differences whether we're all the same color. Regardless, when you've got more people with more differences, then you have more places where people can find out problems with other like different people. You know, so yeah, it's definitely very racist, but at the same time, it's the least racist. So it's like it's ran by people who have been able to stabilize their culture for so long, right? Like
Yeah.
super rich white people are hold the majority of the money in this country, and that's not going to change for a very long time.
Yeah.
And because these same people have been in control of the money for such a long time, they've been able to stabilize a culture and like not even have to like associate with other people that are coming into the country that are affecting the country in different ways. So to them, that older lifestyle of racism and shit like that can thrive easily. It's no problem. So until those fucking old bastards die.
That's really what's happening though.
Until
Yeah,
old
man.
bastards
Because like,
die. I mean, yeah.
I think their kids are. I'm sure that they try to instill like those ideas,
Those values
into their kids,
and they
but-
get instilled.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they
do.
get instilled.
But there's
Yeah.
also those kids that make it out there like I don't actually believe
Yeah.
this. That move to a big city that see people from
matter
different
of time.
cultures and they're like, wait, what the fuck? This isn't bad at all. Like
Matter of
this
time
is,
and perspective.
the problem is like the separation because like Houston is not the kind of place where you experience that kind of thing because it's so diverse.
No,
but
yeah.
like a city fucking 100 miles west in Texas is not gonna be like that. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Definitely.
So we're lucky to be here, but we need to start mingling.
Coming
It's
together,
very
man.
rare. It's
Coming
very
together.
rare
To like run across a small town that's full of minorities.
For sure.
Like that never happens.
That's
Yeah.
you never see that.
You
It's
never see
strange.
that.
It's always white people.
It's always just white people.
And they're never happy to see you.
they're never
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah,
No.
it's very unlikely.
They're waiting.
What are you doing here, boy? You see that face? You see that face they give you?
That's how
What are you
Trump
doing
was.
You
here,
get
boy?
looks up and
Bullshit
down,
little
man.
towns.
You get looks up and down.
What in tarnation?
Why are you here? That's
Yeah.
man.
Hell?
That's
It's a weird
just
thing,
terrible.
man. Yeah, I remember I went with like my girlfriend in high school. I went with another couple, and they were black, and our car ended up. I forgot what happened, but we blew something and it stopped. And we were like we were on our way to Austin, and we were in some random like white town. And we didn't necessarily like hear anything or like see anything, but it just had like a real bad vibe to it.
It just has that
No one
feeling.
wanted to help. It seemed like it just, I don't know, man. It had a real bad vibe
You asked
to it.
for
Confederate
directions.
flag stuff like that. Yeah,
You
no
ask
one
for
really
directions,
wanted.
they just look at you.
Yeah, they didn't slow it down. Yeah. And if anyone did slow it down, that's exactly what they
Yeah.
did. It wasn't very friendly like
Fuck
at
that.
all. It was difficult to even get a tow truck out there.
Yeah.
It was a weird thing, man. It was a weird thing.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
mean,
out
it
there.
exists, bro. Yeah, it's gonna exist for a long time. That's the thing.
I think it'll be forever.
Yeah, it
I
will
think
be
it's
forever.
forever.
It will be forever.
You think so? I think eventually, the diversity's got to win. Like people have got to just start getting to know each other, and like once they're exposed to it more,
No,
and like
like I'm
more
not
people
saying
come
like,
here.
diversity is gonna like become the majority.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
the
But
racism
even in
will
that,
live
it'll,
forever.
yeah, it'll
You
still
think so?
be.
And
It'll be
even-
racist across minorities.
Bro, like
That's
a lot of
true.
Asian
that's what
people
you-
don't like.
Yeah.
Like if you're a black dude, imagine how hard it is to date an Asian woman and have her family accept you into their family. Like,
Oh,
man.
dude, that's
Yeah.
We've
that's
got a
an
lot of
uphill battle.
walls to
it's
break
it's
down,
even
dude.
hard as a black guy getting with an Hispanic person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Them accepting you into their family.
Yeah.
So like the racism isn't just along like white and black or white against everyone else. Like no, it's every like a lot of times it's every race that is going against like finding something in other
Wrong with
races.
the other one.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Exactly. Like they're always gonna want to find something. Everyone's gonna want to find something
Yeah.
wrong with the next person.
I have fucking family in Bronzeville, bro. Like
Yeah.
pretty much nothing but Mexicans.
Yeah.
But like Americanized Mexicans, and they hate Mexicans.
Yeah.
Which if you could
That's
fucking
the
believe it,
wildest shit in
they
the
like Trump
world.
over there and shit
Yeah.
like that, bro. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird, man.
surprising.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's not surprising though. It's not surprising.
Well,
because-
they probably see the worst of it. You know, they're a border town.
Yeah.
So all they see is like,
Yeah.
well, all the stories they hear are bad
Yeah.
things about people trying to smuggle shit over. But
cartels
for the
and shit.
fucking most part, it's just normal people trying to cross over and go visit family or
It's just
you know,
that
whatever
one.
the fuck.
Well, not 1%, but it's that small percentage of people that do it the other way.
Looking
that
at
they
the
just
bad,
hear
not
about.
the good. Just keeping your eyes
That's
focused on the
what
bad people.
everybody
bro,
mostly does.
But that's
There's
just
like
a
a
silly.
there's like a fucking Dr. Seuss story that talks about this, where it's like the people that fucking eat their butter right side up, and people that eat their butter right side down. You know, like.
I don't think I know that one.
Yeah, I've never heard that
Bro,
one.
this is a story by Dr. Seuss, and it's literally ends up where like both sides of the wall, they have like a wall in between them because they eat their butter different, and they keep building bigger guns and pointing them at each other, and eventually their guns get so big that like they destroy each other or whatever, and like they decide they have to live together or whatever. It's a good story because it's Dr. Seuss,
Yeah.
but it's like imagine like these are like Mexican people on one side of the border, Mexicans on the other side of the border, and they're literally just fighting over some pointless shit.
Yeah.
And they're the exact same.
Yeah,
So
the
it's
American
like
agenda.
Exactly, and they get each fed that this side is bad, this side is bad. Not really, because the people that are just trying to get in to the other side, they're just like, this side is good, so I want to get in.
Yeah.
And the other people are just like, I want to keep you out because if you get in, then you're gonna make my side bad, like your side.
Which makes no sense. Yeah,
Makes no sense.
Because I mean, you can see
can,
the arguments for the people that
But
say
there's a different infrastructure.
exactly.
So it's like
exactly.
Yeah.
They don't want everybody to come in because then eventually it'll get overpopulated, whatever.
Which it already is.
Yeah, exactly. Our economy goes down because of that. Whatever. There's arguments for it. But if people are coming over and being more productive than the people that actually fucking live here, then of course you should let them in.
Yeah.
Like I don't think you should have to do a test if you're gonna come over here and cut fucking lawns, bro. If you're gonna go sit outside a Home Depot, why should you have to take a test?
Yeah, I bet we
to be
couldn't
a
even
citizen.
pass
I'm about
to say,
that
yeah,
fucking
most-
test, bro. I don't know.
couldn't pass that test. 'Cause I don't care about our history that much because
Yeah.
it's full of racism and slavery.
Dude.
Our country song or like
I-
whatever. I could.
History is definitely
recite it.
written by the victor.
Exactly.
I think
Oh,
I,
yeah.
I had
Always.
Hell yeah.
I had a pervy high school history teacher tell me that. Yeah, he was
Listen to
real into the girls.
No, yeah. Steve's a cool guy.
he was a cool guy.
He's a cool guy.
guy.
This guy gets it.
This guy gets it. Oh man,
Swell.
Michael, do you remember you and I used to have a class together called Human Geography?
Yes.
Dude.
AP Human Geography.
Don't you think that was one of like a super? It was an annoying class because of the workload, but I thought it was an interesting class because of the guy who taught us.
Yeah.
Wasn't he a super? I thought he was such a smart guy.
No, he was a great teacher.
He was
honestly.
showing us like ideas of postmodernism and
Yeah.
like really abstract philosophical ideas
Yeah.
to like freshmen in high school, and I thought that was super interesting.
No, he'd have you thinking about like global society and shit. You know, I think that's what it was really about. Like thinking of society and human history as like a whole, because it was AP Human Geography. So you're thinking
Yeah.
about like how people in this side of the world live and how that compares with where you're living and how the things that are happening where you live affect other countries and shit like that. So he had you thinking about like war, like conflict between countries. He really had us thinking about stuff. So that was a cool class for sure. Like
I mean, it's interesting how much. I mean, don't get me wrong, we're all different, right? But it's interesting
Yeah.
how much we all have in common. I mean, this is gonna sound stupid, but I remember reading a book for that class called like "Everybody Loves Rice" or some shit like that, and it showed different ways that people
Yeah.
around the world use rice, like
Yeah.
Asian people, like Chinese people, and then it showed African people using rice,
Yep.
Mexican people, Americans, like all kinds of shit.
yeah,
It's interesting how like small things like food and whatnot.
that brings people together.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude,
But
no
they're
food.
just like me. Yeah.
Food really does bring people together. I mean, you know.
Crazy.
And so does art.
Oh yeah,
True.
definitely.
So
Because you have
music, so
you have
that's-
racist Trump supporters that listen to Migos,
Hell
True.
yeah.
Oh,
like
hell
yeah,
for
dude.
sure.
I
Because
love
like
rap
at the end of the day, you're gonna appreciate the art for what it is. You're not gonna appreciate like either the creator of the art or like the ideals held by that person that creates that art. You know.
Yeah.
So like that's one thing that'll always keep people together. It's always gonna come back to that. Like music, film, like good movies. It's always gonna be something that people are gonna get together and watch. Like even if no matter how different you are.
Absolutely.
We're just
Like-
gonna expose that kind of
Like example, I could sit down with my girlfriend and she wanted to watch Twilight, and I'm like, bro, I'm not trying to watch Twilight. She's like, you never seen Twilight, you have to watch it. So she's like, because she's like the type of person that she watched it as a kid and it was like the best thing ever.
Yeah.
And I'm the type of person that I saw that and I'm like, bro, I'm never watching that bullshit.
I
but-
completely agree, Michael.
But I watched the entire series.
You watched the entire
and that
series.
shit
Wasn't that bad?
it was a blast.
Bro, it's wild, bro.
We lost him, guys.
No, that shit is crazy.
Let
We
me
lost
tell
him.
you why
We
it's a
lost
blast. Because those movies are horrible.
They're dog shit.
They're
that kind
so
of
bad.
But the people that like them, they fucking love those
yeah,
movies.
Yeah.
but
They
like
ride
we were
for 'em.
laughing at it the entire time,
Okay,
like
I was about
just
to
laughing at how shitty it is. Like, but it's so bad that it's like it's a masterpiece. Like, like the bad acting, the
Man.
bad makeup, the
CGI,
bad
bro.
lighting, the CGI, the writing, Everything was just terrible. But it had such a big budget that it was like, it was so fun to watch. Like where he puts the girl on his back and he's like running through the forest like Sonic. Like bro, that shit is hilarious, bro. There's a scene where Robert Pattinson leaves this girl in a forest. He takes her out to the middle of the fucking forest and he's like, I've fallen in love with you, but I have to leave because I can't be with you. So he leaves her ass in the middle of the forest.
Die here, bitch.
And it's like sundown, like the sun is going down, and he leaves her ass out there for her to walk the fuck home by herself.
For what? Because he can't be around her?
For no reason. Like, bro, why didn't you just go into her room like you did last time and tell her that and then leave? But nah, he takes her to the middle of the forest, leaves her ass. She's like heartbroken. And she's searching for him, like seeing visions of him and shit. And it's like, bro, this is so dumb.
Who the hell came up with this? And why was this her journey
it's
in
ridiculous.
a weird way?
That's funny. So, Michael, do you feel like, because I started dating someone recently too. Do you feel like when you're dating someone that there's a fair amount of like compromise?
Oh yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Gotta be.
Definitely, man.
Especially at this age.
I feel like there's a huge amount of compromise. Like you're like with you, for instance, like she knows that you're not a guy who likes Twilight, and you told her how gay you think Twilight is.
Oh yeah.
But like, you're like, I care about her.
Yeah. So I'm gonna watch it.
She cares about me. I'm gonna give it a watch.
I'm gonna watch Twilight.
I'm gonna watch Twilight.
All
right. This will come back tenfold.
It's good. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna have a favorite ass later on.
I'm gonna have a favorite ass later. Trust me.
I'm gonna keep this in mind. Remember that time I watched fucking all of Twilight?
Not even one of them.
You gotta give me a favor for each
whole saga.
You gotta give me a favor for each 30 minutes of the Twilight Saga.
How they each like count as different amounts and shit.
Yeah.
Bro, I watched the last one in theaters and it's just downright awful. Bro.
It's wild.
There's a giant fight in it. And that's the only part that I thought was kind of cool.
It's hilarious.
They're killing each other, ripping each other's heads off, this and that.
Wow.
Like werewolves fighting vampires. Or like
that
vampires
sounds
fighting
good.
No, but literally,
Nah, bro, it looks terrible.
Oh yeah,
it does look terrible,
bad.
but it's cool because of what's happening.
In
Because you
theory,
don't
it sounds
expect that.
cool.
And then out of nowhere, the girl, one of their superpowers, they have visions, and and you realize like that's so Raven. It like and like you realize that it was a vision,
and then nothing happens.
in the
movie
and they figure it out, and they're like, well, we can't do that because we're all gonna die, and so then they figure out something else, and they're like, and that's it. That's the end of the movie, and they live, I think, happily.
It was
after.
terrible.
Seems like a cheap ending.
It was
Very
awful.
cheap
It's like the
ending.
worst way you could have ended the saga.
Pulled
Like
straight out of their ass.
Speaking
really
of cheap
bad.
endings, we've been going for like 2 something hours.
Holy
I think
shit.
Damn.
it's about time we call it a night, guys.
dude.
I hope we gave you everything that you wanted. I want to shout out to my boy Mike G at Versacekenpachi.
Appreciate
A wonderful artist. Check out his art. Buy his art. DM him pictures of your tit. I'm just joking.
Don't do pictures of your dick.
Don't do that.
Do
We don't
not
want
do
to
that.
get him in trouble.
Do all of it.
But DM him for any inquiries for art. He takes any kind of art. He'll do like commissions on
Dude,
stuff.
logo, graphic design, logos. I do tattoos. If you just want like a poster put in your room, whatever.
You do tattoos?
Yeah, I do design tattoos. So I don't tattoo myself, but I can design them.
Yeah.
But hit me up if you like my shitty art, whatever. Cool. Appreciate it.
Go check it out.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Later.
All right.